which I will share with you after this presentation. Chronic conditions. Chronic conditions are also covered. All manner of chronic conditions are covered, so long as it is health related and based on your plan that you have or contract that you have with us, we will ensure that chronic conditions are managed appropriately by our doctors. All chronic conditions are covered on this particular plan we are introducing to you, be it hypertension, be it diabetes, be it whatsoever, asthma, whatsoever chronic conditions anybody is having at the moment can be covered by our HMO for you people. We also have vaccination for babies and adults as well. Then we also have mental health support. We have, for those, this is how will I put it now, a classified a cover, in the sense that if there's anybody who has a mental health challenge, we have a specific channel where these persons can actually access care. They can talk to our doctors. If they cannot come physically, they can speak with our doctors. Consultations can be carried out with them via the telephone, and then everything that they need us to do for you, we will be able to respond to it as well. I've also mentioned second medical opinion. Now, if it happens that a particular hospital you have gone to has run a test on you, and you feel that you are not comfortable with the services that you got at that particular hospital, you are free to go to another hospital to seek for a second opinion. Is allowed in Axa Mansard HMO. You are not tied down to only one hospital. Like I mentioned, that roaming is actually permitted. You are free to roam across all our hospitals nationwide. You are not tied down to only one hospital. So if you are not satisfied with a particular service in a particular hospital, please move to the next hospital that you have access to on our network. And like I mentioned, all hospitals that were dedicated to us, that were sent to us, we are currently engaging those hospitals, the ones that you have interest in. And our timeline to deliver is not less than 3 weeks from now. We have engaged them in talks at the moment. Emails have been forwarded to them to submit us their required documents. We must carry out our due diligence before we onboard them. We're on that process at the moment, and in 3 weeks' time, God willing, we'll be able to give you a feedback as to know how we have gone with them, how far we have gone with them. I would like to take some concerns, your questions and observations, please. Thank you. Can you hear me, please?
Okay, staff would like to. Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
I don't know why I can't hear you very clearly. It's not so clear from my end, but I can't hear you clearly. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Yes, please.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello, good morning.
I said I would like to take your questions and observations, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
It's a bit faint. I don't know whether it is from my end. It's a bit faint. It's a bit faint.
Hello?
Yes, okay, go ahead. Just project your voice so that I can hear you clearly. It's a bit faint. Project your voice.
Okay, yes. How about some specialized services, like somebody that needs the attention of a dentist, or somebody that wants to see ophthalmologist? I don't know whether you have that as part of your packages. And then
yes, we do. We actually have dental care, optical care. We have physiotherapists. We have all manner of specialists on our cover. I will share with you our providers list, because all of these other options like medical, dental care, optical care, physiotherapy sessions, pediatricians, we have a number of providers that partner with us in these areas. We have a number of providers that partner with us in these areas. I will share with you what we have under these areas in Ekiti State. And if there are areas, if there are other providers, other hospitals that you would like us to onboard for dental care and optical care, you can indicate it to us, and we'll engage those facilities and get them to sign up with us in no distant time.
Okay, thank you. Then secondly, how about the area of surgery? Hello?
Okay. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, surgery, all surgical care are covered on our network. Be it for instance, if we take maternity, for instance, that we need to do assisted delivery by cesarean section is actually covered. Then other kinds of surgical needs are covered on our network. We actually cover surgeries on our network. The comprehensive package will be forwarded to you. You get the comprehensive package will be forwarded to you, so that you can see that all surgeries, we actually cover surgeries for our members. Be it no matter the plan that you are on, if there's any need for you to run a surgery, to carry out a surgery, it is covered for us. It's covered for you.
If you have questions and you are remote, you can raise up your hand and then we will unmute you, please.
Hello, if there's any other question, you can unmute yourself and speak loud. Could you the question? No. Questions.
Good morning, everyone.
Also use the chat room. You can also use the chat room.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ologun Mary from Data Protection. So my question is, please, so is it only married people that will be doing this? What is it called?
No, not only married people. You are not anybody, an individual who is not married in your organization, of course, can be part of this as well.
No, I'm asking,
can be part of this. It's not restricted to only married couples. Even singles are entitled to health care as well. Anybody can fall sick at any time. Even children, family members are also welcome to be on the plan. It's open to all, baby or adult, single or married. It's open to all. It's open to all.
Well, Philomena.
Yes, sir.
Let me help out on that question. What she's trying to say is, as a single, is it possible for you to bring in your dependent into the system?
Very much so. As a single, if you have dependents under you that are not above 25 years of age, if they are not above 25 years of age, you are free to onboard them. You can register them under yourself, so long as it has been approved by your management. We cannot restrict you from bringing anybody, but if your management approves that, yes, you have dependents under you, yes, of course, we can onboard them, and the age limit is 25 years old. They mustn't be above 25 years old. If they are 25 years old, they will be registered. If the child is above 25 years old, that person will have to be registered as an individual by himself or herself as well.
Okay, if I may get you right, what you are saying is onboarding dependent for singles is subject to the management approval.
Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay. Any other question, please? Okay. Antonio.
Who is ITEL A665L? You have been unmuted, you can speak.
Well done, ma. My question is this possible, ma, for you to... Hello, ma.
Is it possible that what, sir?
Is this possible for you?
I can't hear you, sir. You're echoing. I can't hear you clearly, sir. Please. Yes, I can hear you, sir. Or will you type it out?
Is it possible for you to manage the public hospital and the private hospital for this
Yes,
platform, ma?
please.
So that
We partner
for
with
those who doesn't
state
have maybe
hospitals.
access.
We partner with state hospitals. We partner with all state hospitals. Yes. If you have anyone close to you that you feel you need us to onboard, just like has been indicated to us, we were sent some names of some hospitals that we need to contact now. We are currently discussing with them. We partner with both state hospitals and private hospitals. We partner with both state hospitals and private hospitals. If there's anyone of interest, if there's anyone you have interest in, you can send us their names and we'll reach out to them. Our doctors will reach out to them and get them to onboard them.
Hello. Okay. So, hello.
Yes, please. Can you please be more project your voice? I can't hear you clearly, please. Hello, sir.
Hello, ma.
Yes, sir. Go
Now,
ahead.
my question is, can we know the one, those people you are partnership with now here in Ekiti?
Okay, I would have to, I don't know if Tosin is on this call. Is Tosin on this call? Okay, let me quickly, okay, just give me a minute and let me call out the ones that we currently have in Ekiti. Let me call the ones we currently have in Ekiti. Even though I have been given a list as well that we need to also see how quickly we can onboard for the purposes of those who are in those areas, which we have already started engaging the facilities. We've started engaging them already. Let me quickly open up the ones that we have. I will call them out for you now. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute, please.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
I can see a question in the chat box. Let me
So you can.
quickly, I see a question in the chat box. Yeah, let me respond to this question in the chat box now, please. Okay, so this question of low quality or substandard drugs being supplied through telemedicine, it doesn't operate with AXA Mansard. We do not prescribe substandard drugs to our members because we value our reputation. And all doctors on our network have been duly certified, so that there's no way you'll be speaking to a quack doctor on AXA Mansard HMO. We don't employ quack doctors, so that we cannot prescribe substandard drugs to our members. No. Like I mentioned to you earlier on, we've been in this business for over 10 years. And worldwide, we've been in existence. AXA as a global brand has been in existence for over 40 years. So we take our business very seriously. We take our members, our enrollees, everybody that is onboarded onto AXA, we take it very seriously. And should there be any emergency or any complaint whatsoever, you can give us feedback either quarterly or monthly. We will entertain feedbacks from you. If there are any issues or areas you want us to address, we'll take feedbacks. But for substandard drugs, not on AXA Mansard HMO, no. Not on AXA Mansard HMO. I myself have been a beneficiary of this telemedicine as well. I remember during the COVID era, where this whole telemedicine even actually started, yes. I have been a beneficiary of it over the years. It's not every day I want to wake up and start driving myself to a hospital. I quickly pick up my phone and call a doctor up and tell him my symptoms. The only thing you need to do is to give them your enrollee ID, that number, either 6-digit number that will give to you. Provide it to the doctor on the phone. They will confirm it, and then you can continue your consultation. So let me go back to the other question for the Ekiti the hospitals in Ekiti. Okay, so I have them now. I have St. Gregory's Hospital in Ado Ekiti. I have Dominican Specialist Medicare in Ado Ekiti. We have Lovely Queen's Care Specialist in Ado Ekiti, Olive Specialist, Ade Tade Hospital, Eden Life, Abuad Multi-System, Maternal and Child, in about 7 of, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 11 of them registered now in Ado Ekiti. We have about 11 registered in Ado Ekiti. Yes, please. We have access to gym services, gym and wellness. We have access. You will have access to gym and wellness, but it's from a particular how will I put it now? Well, since you're having a customized plan with us, we can actually, make provision for that. Yes, we have gyms on our network that you can access. We have gyms for those who are interested. Yes. Okay, so for this second question, the second question, which says that how would your organization handle a situation where a patient has already been prescribed specific drugs or medication? Will such prescription be accepted and honored under your scheme? So now this medication and the access to health that you're trying to get from so long as if that hospital or that doctor is registered under our network of hospitals, it will be honored. But if you go to a hospital that is not under our network and you come to us with that prescription, it will not be honored, because to us, we will look at it like you're carrying out self-medication by yourself. There has to be a history so that we will not be held responsible if anything happens to that particular member. We will not be held responsible. We would like to track our record and track the drugs that we are giving to persons, so that there must be a record of that person with us, seeing our own doctors. A history has to be followed for us to be able to prescribe and honor prescriptions. So on that account, I will say that if you're going to any hospital that is not under AXA Mansard network, we may not honor that prescription because it may be a problem to us tomorrow if something happens to that particular member. So you must see a consultant, a doctor on our network, for your prescriptions to be honored. Okay, I hope that is clear. Then there's another question here. Say, good morning, ma. We have some tests that are very costly, like endoscopic test, CT, MRI, which research just few hospitals have this equipment. Only 1 or 2 hospitals that have this equipment in Ekiti. Ma, are you ready to partner with those? So yes, please. Yes, please. Just like I indicated earlier on, we have hospitals that were sent to us sometime last week for us to engage, and we have engaged them already, and we are in talks with them at the moment. Timeline, I should give you a feedback, at least give me like in the next 1 or 2 weeks, I should be able to give you a feedback as to how far we have gone in our discussions and negotiations with them. Recall that we must carry out our due diligence. We must make sure that these particular hospitals that we want to onboard, we will carry out our due diligence in order not to go and onboard a hospital that is not up to standard, because it will endanger the lives of persons who go to those hospitals. So if these hospitals fulfill all our due diligence, if they fulfill all our requirements for us to onboard them, definitely they will be onboarded. So in a week's time, I will be able to give a feedback as to how far we have gone with those hospitals that have been indicated to us in Ekiti. Another question goes like this, and does your plan cover those? Let me see. Yes, our plan covers endoscopic tests, CT scan, and MRI. So there must be a medical indication. There must be a medical diagnosis for us to be able to carry out those investigations on your behalf. So if the doctors demand that, say, okay, this particular member needs to carry out so and so investigation, our doctors will review. If the diagnosis matches the reason for us to carry out those investigations, they will be approved by our doctors. Okay, I have another question here. Good morning, Lord. Please, can they add State Hospital to FMC Adebayo to HMO on this time around, or is there only? I've answered this. This other question said is, can we add FMC? Yes, please. I think we have a teaching hospital already that is on our network in Ido Ekiti. We have a teaching hospital already, and if you want us to add more hospitals, you are free to send me that information on the chat. I will take it down and give it to our doctors. We'll engage those hospitals in time, because the earlier the better, so that we do not waste time if eventually, God willing, we are handpicked for this purpose. Another question goes like this: is scale and polishing? Yes, scaling and polishing is actually covered under all plans. No matter the plan you find yourself, be you on a lower plan or a higher plan, scaling and polishing is covered across for everybody, so long as you are under our HMO. That is the minimum we can do for anybody on our HMO. Scaling and polishing is covered. Tooth extraction is also covered. Tooth extraction is also covered. There's another question. Where prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital and subscribers buy out of pocket? Is there? Yes, we do refund. We have a reimbursement fund for that. We have reimbursement fund that is just centered for that purpose. If for any reason there is a drug that has been prescribed and the hospital does not have those particular drugs, you are free to walk into any pharmacy of your choice, pick up these drugs, and send us the receipt of purchase. Send us the drug prescription. Send it to us. We'll reimburse you as well. Our reimbursement takes 5 to 10 working days. 5 to 10 working days for reimbursement on anything you have to pay out of pocket. We reimburse in 5 to 10 working days. Okay, you said, how would your organization handle out-of-care network in emergency situation? So good. Now, in this situation whereby there's an emergency, you need to contact me and the designated persons that are involved, either our call center or you contact me, because I will be the account officer. You can contact me even in the middle of the night. There are cases with some accounts that I currently manage. They call me even 12 midnight. I pick my call. For a pregnant woman that had to do a CS in the middle of the night, I picked that call and that baby survived. So even if there's an emergency in the middle of the night, depending on the location, now we have ambulances. If the hospital you're trying to get access to, we can send you an ambulance depending on your location and depending on the challenge. But you must first of all reach out to us, either myself or our help center, which is online 24 hours a day. You reach out to us and tell us this is the situation. We need to get an ambulance. We will authorize you to do that. But the most important thing is that you must carry us along in anything you are doing. Anything you are doing out of pocket, you must carry us along so that we can give you appropriate advice.
Hello.
Okay, there's another question here.
Thank you for your presentation, Philomena.
Sir?
I said thank you for your presentation.
There are some, okay, sir.
Do you have some other questions to answer?
There are questions on the chat box. So.
Really?
There are questions. I'm responding to the questions in the chat box.
But don't worry, let's chat about that after the presentation.
So somebody is asking about prostate and testicular tests. So yes, prostate is covered. These are part of the annual medicals. It's part of the annual health scheme that we arrange for our members. Every member on the plan with his or her spouse is entitled to annual health care screening every year. It's done once a year. It's done once a year. Every member and the spouse is entitled to carry out annual health screening. It is carried out once a year.
Philomena.
Sir?
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your presentation. We'll
sir.
come up with other questions. Then we'll send them to you so that you can possibly trash them. Then we'll communicate to our colleagues with time. So thank you very much, and we'll value you. We'll make up our minds, our decisions. We'll communicate with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I should exit now?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Listen.
Confirm. Hello.
Hello, sir. Have you joined? Have you joined? Okay, you are the next speaker. What's the 50 of
So the question.
Who is the next person?
Bastion is the next speaker, Mr. Akindayo. Are you there? Hello,
Once
Mr.
the person
Akindayo.
comes online, let him say, maybe throw something to the chat room or raise his hand so that I'll make him a co-host. And then he'll be able to share his screen.
Okay, sir. It needs to be unmuted, sir. Akindayo.
You can now host.
Yes.
No, it
I made him a co-host.
Okay, sir.
Hello, Mr.
I will transfer the
Akindayo.
hosting to HR something because I'm entering another meeting. So that
Hello,
you can
good
be
morning,
adding.
sir.
Mr. Akindayo, good morning.
Yeah, how are you all doing today, sir?
How are you, sir?
Yeah, very well, very well. Thank God. Thank God.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Are you set for your presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And hopefully we're thinking you should be able to make do
I didn't get that.
I said we are thinking we should be able to conclude your presentation within 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I will just quickly share.
Your slide.
Yeah, I'll just quickly share my slides now. Kindly confirm to me if you can see them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's trying to come up now.
Mr. Akindayo, we can hear you.
Okay. Please confirm to me if you can.
We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay, so I'm just trying to share my slides. Kindly confirm to me if you can see it.
Okay, now we can see.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Akindayo Mojo, and I work for Bastion Health, Bastion HMO. So we are in the business of providing health insurance for corporate organizations, individuals, and also families, and also expatriates, as the case may be. So we started in I think that was about 6 years ago when we started our business, and over the past 6 years, I mean, we've been doing so well and good, especially when it comes to providing health care needs for our clients, right? We understand the importance of healthcare and also understand the urgency when it comes to healthcare, because I'm sure that nobody would want to go to the hospital if they are not actually sick. Right. So when it comes to top-notch customer experience and also creating transparency, when it comes to giving access to care, we are the forefront. This is just a short demo. So we released the newer version of our mobile app. We are we are very big when it comes to technology and also ensuring that access to care is seamless. So we released what's it called, a version 2 of our mobile app, which basically has to do with the key features. I'm just going to play it. I'm just going to play it and let me know if you can also hear the what's it called? Hear the sound as well.
Managing your health plan is now easier than ever. Log in and access your benefits in seconds. Check your plan details, find hospitals around you, and request approvals, all in just a few taps. Book doctor appointments, access health records, request your medication, and consult with doctors virtually. Track claims, get real-time updates, and chat for support instantly. Take charge of your healthcare today. Download the Bastion HMO app now. Bastion Health, the HMO that puts you in control.
All right. Thank you very much. So that's just more like a teaser as regards the improvement we've had on the app, which has to do with telemedicine service available on the app, ability to book an appointment before visiting the hospital. Also, you'll have access to your medical health records on the app as well. For us as an HMO, we provide excellent services. You also have access to your medical health records on the app. So medical health records means that we are not restricting you to a particular hospital. You can visit as many hospitals as you wish to within your geographical location, within your plan type. So if you go to a particular hospital today, you weren't treated well, you can as well seek a second opinion in a particular hospital. And also the telemedicine service is also available, right, which you can consult with a doctor and you get your medications delivered to you. I understand the importance of medications and the feedback we've been getting lately when we have sessions like this is that, possibly maybe the HMO didn't give me the correct medication, HMO giving me a substandard medication or something like that. And I would like to correct this. HMO is not the one administering the drugs to you, right? If a request comes into the HMO that, you want the, what's it called, XYZ medication needs to be prescribed and given to you, right? It's our duty to approve it. So we are not the ones to say, give this person so medication. Any medication that will be given to you is dependent on the doctor's prescription. So it's not the HMO because we don't know the conversation. I mean, ours is just to review any request that comes in from the hospital. We are not in the hospital to say, this is the particular medications given to you. So it's when those requests comes in, we review it against your diagnosis because, we've had cases where hospitals will send in wrong medications, maybe something you have malaria, you have malaria, instead of you being given anti-malaria, lumefantrine or soft gel, artemether and the likes, maybe they are giving something else to you. So they have to review all of this to ensure that it's in line with the diagnosis given to you. Also, we are part of a group, right, called the Afia Care Group, which is an healthcare investment company. Basically, under the group, we have three other subsidiaries, which is the HMO. We have the hospital group and also Octosoft Technology that provides us with everything as regards technology. For the people behind the brands, we have Mr. Tosiroshewe, who is the former CEO of AXA Mansard Health. He founded AXA Mansard before he moved to establish Bastion Health and also the hospital group. Then we have Naomi Aduku and Dr. Soya, which is former of AXA Mansard. So, be rest assured that these are the guys that founded AXA Mansard to whatever state they are in, and whatever you're getting from AXA Mansard, for those people past, be rest assured that you're getting much more better services with Bastion HMO. For our clientele base, for the people we are currently providing services through across the sectors from the financial to the power like gas, manufacturing, others, and education as well. We are currently providing services. I think sometime last month, my team was also in Ekiti State to meet with the Ekiti State University student union and also the management to provide services for them. We are almost closing out on that. Also, we also have a couple of clients like the likes of Fountain Group also in Ekiti that we are currently providing services too. So having access to care is very seamless. Just like I said, I stressed on the is a game changer. From the mobile app, there are a whole lot of things you can do. You can see the closest hospital to you. You can speak to a doctor online. You can have access to your medical records, which is super important, right? I know that for us now, we all have our smartphone where we can pull up our banking records, our transaction history. Same thing also applies to the Bastion Health mobile app, where we have the opportunity of looking up our medical history, our medical records available to us, right? So that should, in case you have the opportunity to change hospitals or to try another hospital, you can easily bring out your mobile app to see what you've been treated for in the past and how the new consultant could continue the conversation for you. So all of this is readily available on the mobile app. So it's very seamless and easy to use. So once you come on board, you get to register with your unique HMO ID number, which is unique to everyone, right? And also that's to the employees and their dependents, and then you can begin to have access to care. So for people on chronic medications as well, maybe managing high blood pressure, diabetes, and need their routine medications, they'll get all of this delivered to them on a monthly basis, and they can as well request for some of these medications as well. So when it comes to medications, right, I would like to stress on it because majority of the feedback we're getting we've gotten in the past that hospitals are giving them substandard medication, and when report like this reach out to me, I mean the only thing I can say that okay, hospitals now, to be frank and candid, medications are expensive. Hospitals no longer stockpile medications unlike before, right? Because of how expensive it is. So one thing I do regret, if you feel that you are uncomfortable, you are not comfortable with the medications that was prescribed to you, you could just easily just share it with or share the prescription note. We are going to source for those medications in the nearby pharmacies where we can get the branded medications and where we will deliver that to you. Also, on the mobile app as well, you can locate the provider, just like I said, no matter where you are, be it in Ekiti, be it in Lagos, be it in Ibadan, or be it in Oshu, anywhere you are, you can locate a provider closest to you. You don't need to reach out to the HR team, you don't need to reach out to anyone, and you can visit the closest one to you as well. I also spoken about the booking appointment feature as well on the mobile app, where you can book an appointment before visiting the hospital. I also spoken about the policy details. Yes. So this is another thing that I think we all need to be familiar with, because I mean we've had cases where people go to the hospital and say that, oh, but I'm covered from this. I don't know why the hospital is not giving me the access to enjoy this care. So you have your policy details, that's your benefit coverage. When you come on board, the customized plan or whichever plan that we've agreed with the team will be available on your mobile app. So you can easily see what you're covered for at every point in time. So you can see your policy details, which contains your benefit as well, from your optical to your dental to your surgery, to admissions, to different scans and consultants you have access to. So all of this is available on the mobile app as well. You can see your e-cards as well and e-cards of your dependents on your mobile app as well, readily available to you. I've also spoken about the health records, right, which is more like you staying updated with your healthcare needs, right? I know that for majority of us, if I'm to ask you, okay, do we have access to our medical records? It will be a case of we going back to the hospital that we've been treated to check our file, what our medical records is. But with Bastion Health, you have all of this available on your mobile app. You can see the diagnosis, you can see your prescription, you can see the procedure that you underwent. So all of this is available. Telemedicine is also available, which I've spoken to. You can consult with a doctor no matter where you are, and you get your drugs delivered to you. Claims and reimbursement is also available, all right, for people that had to pay out of pocket, maybe due to emergency or due to what's it called, due to you having access to care where the coverage is not available, right? We'll get your reimbursement once you submit the document, which is your receipt, the bank transfer EOP you sent, and also a medical report from the hospital that you were treated from, which will be given to you. So the pharmacy benefit as well, which I've made mention, people on chronic medication and routine medication will get their medication supplied to them as well. Mental health is also available on the platform, right? For people that want to speak with a consultant, a psychologist, a mental health coach to manage stress, anxiety, and the likes. So it's available on the app as well. You can consult with a consultant to manage your mental health support. So also for amounts we paid on your behalf, right? This is another thing that people we are trying to create when it comes to transparency, especially when it comes to insurance. We've had cases where people say, "Oh, I don't know how much the insurance company is paying on my behalf. I don't know how much I've used and stuff like that." So all of this is available on the app. For your last visitation, you can see how much the hospital, the HMO paid to the hospital on your behalf. So if there are cases, another way we've actually made this available on the app is when you get those prompts that your app has been updated with your claims, you can easily let us know, because it's another way we are trying to curb fraud and waste in the system, right? So we've had cases where hospitals charge for services that they do not use. So once you get that, once an hospital make a request on your behalf for us to approve, you get it on your as a notification on your app. So you can easily notify us or flag it or call your relationship manager to say, "Oh, I didn't access this care. I don't know why I've been charged," so that we can take it up with the facility, as the case may be. So you can chat with us. We are readily available at every point in time. Our live agent, our customer support is available. Also, your dedicated account managers, your relationship managers is available 24/7. So you have two dedicated account managers or relationship managers to relate with at every point in time. So these are telemedicine partners from Octodoc and also Ela Health, where you can consult with a doctor and get your medications delivered to you. These are clients, contact center, and also the relationship managers numbers where you can call and you have your issues, feedback, inquiries treated promptly. Thank you so much. I don't know if we can take questions now. Hello?
Yes.
All
I'll
right.
send
Yeah.
something to the platform. Just hold on.
Okay.
You can start with these few questions.
Any questions, you can let me know.
Check the chat box.
Okay. Okay, so the first question, does wider test covered without paying extra money to the hospital? So wider test, I mean, it was stopped by the World Health Organization. That was a couple of years back. So, I mean, wider test is typically used to test for malaria, right? Which, I mean, we got a communication that is not really effective. So rather than doing wider tests, we advise the hospital to do FBC, which is typically the same thing and also gives a better result as regards that. So wider test is just like a duplication of FBC, because after doing wider test, they will still want to do FBC test on you to know if you actually have malaria or not. So I do tell, I mean, thank you for bringing this question up. So rather than doing wider test, I mean, it's just for you to tell them that, oh, let them do FBC, because this is another way for them to siphon money you. And when we give them this feedback that you are not, wider test is not covered on HMO, is a case of we trying to deprive the enrollee of the covered services, which is not the case. So, and also is the sensitization we are having with the hospitals as well, to let them know that if you want to test for malaria, it's better you do FBC rather than wider test. To what percentage is the bill covered for all services? So, services are covered fully as displayed on the plan, right? So there's a plan, there's a particular plan, and also more like a customized plan. So everything covered under the customized plan, you don't need to pay for it. But if you are doing anything aside or outside that customized plan, then you need to pay for it. But I mean, going by the customized plan, it typically covers majorly, if not all, of the medical services that probably anyone might need, right? Save for the limit, right? But I mean, it's a fully and robust one. Will your office include blood tonics, antibiotics, like ciprotab, anti-malaria drugs like Valium, Leonard, and the rest? Yeah. So let me start by saying blood tonics. Blood tonics is an exclusion on health insurance, right? Except for babies. Say for babies. So if there's a newborn baby, or also is a function of the diagnosis as well. Right. So if it's a newborn baby, or probably maybe you just finish undergoing the surgery and then ask you to take blood tonic and stuff like that, definitely it will be covered. But if not, the HMO would not cover it. Yeah, antibiotics are covered. Ciprotab is covered. Anti-malaria drugs, just like I made mention, Leonard, Palixene, Subgel, and the likes are also covered on the health insurance plan. Experience has shown that under the telemedicine arrangement, they were concerned with prescribed. Yeah. Okay, so for the telemedicine arrangement, right? For any medications delivered to you, be rest assured that you are getting the best. That I can even assure you that most, if not all of our medications delivered via telemedicine are branded medications, not generic. Because for telemedicine, we are the one that process the medications by ourselves. Our pharmacy team do the processing and get it delivered to you. So be rest assured you are getting the best of medications from that angle. Experience, okay. Okay, gym service. Yeah, gym service has covered. Also, it's also dependent on availability of gyms in your area, right? So, should in case you have any gym closest to you that you want us to bring on board, right, you could as well reach out to us via the HR team to onboard it. But gym services are covered on the plan. Do you partner with federal hospitals? Yes, we do. We partner with federal hospitals. Yeah, I think we have Adokiti Hospital. We have Ekiti State Teaching Hospital. I think we have some FMCs as well that we currently partner with. How would the organization handle a situation where a patient has already been prescribed specific medications or drugs? Would such prescription be accepted or under? I'm not really that clear with this question 7. If you want to shed more light on this, I would really appreciate. Oh, for the question 7. For the question 8, endoscopy, CT scan, MRI, with research, just for hospitals have this 1 or 2. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, for those kind of tests, right? Most especially for endoscopy, I know that I mean it has to be a top-notch hospitals, and thankfully we have Alpha Babala Teaching Hospital on our platform as well, right? Which we can easily refer you to get all of these tests to be done. Also, CT scan and MRI is also a covered service on the platform as well. FMC Adebayo, I will have to check if we have FMC Adebayo on our platform, but we should do. But if not, we will try to bring them on board. And yes, we partner with both federal, that's the public and private hospitals, not just private hospitals alone, but just that most times it's easier to partner with the private hospital, given that I mean their bureaucracies and I mean is quick response time from their end. But yes, we have public hospitals also on the platform. Scaling and polishing is covered, right? That's more like the basic service of the dental service, also covered on the platform. When prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital's prescribers pay. So I won't encourage anyone to pay out of hospitals. To pay out of pocket for any medication. So if perhaps you go to an hospital and they don't have the medication, so just tell them to tell them to give you the prescription, tell them to reach out to the HMO, because ideally what they need to do is if they don't have the medication, they reach out to the HMO for us to supply. right, for us to supply you that medication. But if that's the case, or by chance you go to the hospital and they tell you that, oh, that they don't have that particular medication they want to prescribe to you, get the prescription and send it to us so that we can source for the medication and deliver it to you. How would your organization handle out of care emergency situation? So out of care emergency situation is just first and foremost to get you stabilized, right? Whether you have access to that hospital or not, so far is the case of emergency and life is involved, approvals will be given. And should in case the HMO is not within reach, or I mean, you need to quickly pay and to get yourself stabilized and all before we then refer or transfer you to a in-network hospitals, you can easily request for reimbursement as that regards. What of Afe Babala Hospital? I already spoke about it that, I mean, it's part of the hospital that we currently partner with, and you can have access to care at that particular facility. Will there be prostate or testicular tests? Yeah, so during your, so there's a part of the benefit table that talks about annual wellness, right? So for annual wellness is something that I personally do push for, right? It's not a case of probably I don't fall sick, I don't need to, but just go. Is a once in a year thing. Just have your body checks done, have your general body checks done, so you can have access to PSA, mammogram, liver function test and the like. So all of this is readily available under the annual wellness test. Facility service is also covered on the plan up to a tune of your up to the limits as stated on the plan. How soon can enroll be reimbursed in cases? Okay, for cases of reimbursement, it usually takes between 7 to 14 working days for you to be reimbursed after submitting all the OKC, all the documents requested. So you get your money back between 7 to 14 working days. Yeah, facility services are covered up to the tune amount. So there's a particular amount that have been stated or highlighted for fertility services. So it's covered across all plan. Dental and optical. Dental and optical clinics are on our platform and also available should in case or should there be need for anyone needing that services. You can go to a couple of them that we have available in AKT. Can we know other medical treatment that require costs from the patient? So this is subject to the diagnosis, right? I can't at the top of my head tell you that, oh, you will need to pay out of pocket for this and this and this. But are we as your health care partner, what we try to do and ensure that for out of pocket payments, we tend to reduce it to the barest minimum. Because for me, myself, I'm not a fan of it. You being subscribed to an HMO and getting to pay out of pocket basically defeat that purpose. So for any reason, I try to reduce it to the barest minimum. If there are cases where you have to get medications, it's not readily available, reach out to us. You don't need to pay out of pocket. We'll get those medications delivered to you as when due. So should in case, I don't know if anyone have any other question. Someone's okay, you said you have subsidiaries. How do you protect information? Okay, your informations are basically encrypted, right? Our subsidiaries do not meddle in or interfere in our own what's it called? In our own business. So we just have those subsidiaries, which is part of a group, just more like a conglomerate. So we operate what's it called? We operate independently as our business regards, and also we are also signed on into the Nigerian data privacy law, and also on the SLA as well. There's a particular clause that also talks about the data privacy as well. So all um all information and all document as regards each person is encrypted and also handled with care as well. You don't need to worry about that because we understand the what's it called, the privacy and also the confidentiality that comes with dealing with the within the healthcare space. So does anyone have any other question?
There's another question again. Please check.
Okay. Um, Okay, so Okay, so my wife is heavily pregnant. We already registered at Unix, but what with dates given to us in the hospital is now between April and May. Now we are bidding for another new HMO. How will my wife continue? So I mean, it's pretty much easy. I think we have Unique Plus Multi-System Hospital is under our platform, which is I think is Hospital Road in Ado-Ekiti. I mean, it's a seamless process. Right. I mean, your wife has already started antenatal. It's just about giving them what's it called? Giving them the new HMO ID number, and then we give approval for the delivery. So you don't need to worry about it. It's a seamless transition moving into the next HMO. And thankfully, the hospital is currently an hospital that we partner with at the moment. Does anyone have any other question?
Any other question? Hello, any other question? Thank you, Mr. Akindayomi.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity and time given to us. So, I mean, just a final short word, right? I basically understand the importance of healthcare and also health insurance. I mean, coming to your aid when you actually need them, because I mean, it actually goes beyond. It goes beyond even having access to care, but that woman touch and woman feeling when people know that they have a partner that is readily available and there for them at every point in time. So in case we are very big when it comes to customer centric in our shoes, that's what has helped us in terms of having more clients also as well, because we are in the business of providing healthcare and also providing it as a when due. So be rest assured that you get quality healthcare needs when the time arrives. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak with everyone this morning. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You can exit. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting.
All right.
Hey. Mr. Lolu, are you there? Mr. Lolua. Mr. Lolua. Okay, maybe we need to unmute him. Wait. Can you say hi so I can? Okay. Ola Olua. Ó ti gbé wálẹ̀ kan yẹn. Are you sure it's online? Aláṣọ. Nǹkan ni ẹni Aláṣọ Louis.
Hello, good
Hello,
morning.
Mr. Aláṣọ Louis.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
You have just 15 minutes, please.
How many minutes?
15 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Good morning, everyone on the call. My name is Aláṣọ Louis Olaoluwa. I am the branch manager, Leadway Assurance Company Limited, Ekiti State Office. I want to sincerely appreciate this opportunity to address the member on this particular call. I'm trying everything possible within my reach to bring on board member of our healthcare team so they can be more explicit as far as your request is concerned. But by the way, let me start by introducing to you Leadway Assurance Company Limited. It's about 55 years old insurance and company that diversify into various sectors of the economy. We're into health, we're into agri, we're into composite insurance. But for the purpose of this call this morning, I'll only be addressing and be speaking to us mainly on health insurance. And as a matter of fact, we began this about 5 to 6 years ago. And for the record we had on our table, we have been doing exceedingly well as far as the HMO is concerned. Basically, our HMO has different berries, but based on the request on this call, I have a few. I was given a customized request that we should treat. But I want to plead with you at this junction that you please spare me 2 minutes. I want to bring in the HMO guy from my head office so that I can be able to give adequate response to your request and to be more explicit on this very call. If I have permission, can I go ahead? Hello?
Please go ahead, sir.
Good question.
Hello, everyone. Please, let's be patient as they are trying to bring in the speaker from their head office. Mr. Kalapo, we can hear you.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Please, you have just 10 minutes.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Nathan Akatapu from Leadway. Okay, my name is Nathan Akatapu from Leadway Health Insurance, and I'm just here to talk about what we to offer in terms of our health insurance products. So Leadway Health is currently 5 years in the market, and we started our operations at 2021. We have our hospital license as at 2020, and within the past 5 years, we've actually best HMO of the year as at 2023, 2024, and 2025. Now, people would ask why why we we've actually made sure that making payments to hospitals are actually 100% seamless. Now, all Leadway Health, we practically know that we don't owe us for any bill that is actually submitted to us. So currently up to date, we actually paid a total of over 17.5 million naira in as at date. And okay, thank you very much. Please confirm if you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So yes, so I was talking about the services that we render to both the hospitals and then also go to our customers. Now, for the hospital part, I believe that we've been in a situation whereby people go to the hospital, and in terms of getting the adequate care that they actually paid for, they end up getting informations like, oh, your HMO is owing the hospital, oh, your HMO has not paid, and the likes. Now, under Leadway Health, we are giving you that 100% assurance that you won't have any such complaints like that in terms of owing hospitals, because we've put a system in place to make sure that hospitals are being paid based on the contract base we've had with them. So we have hospitals that we are paying on a weekly basis, a bi-monthly base. We also have hospitals that we pay every single day. So once they submit their bill with our system, we end up paying them as soon as possible. And then also in terms of services to our customers, basically, we just talk about the fact that our customers have easy access to care. So basically under the Leadway platform, you have access to your telemedicine, you have access to geolocation. Geolocation means that you are not tied down to a particular hospital. You can actually move around hospitals are in your plan around that particular location. So today you might be in Ekiti, tomorrow something is bringing you down to Lagos, or something is taking you all the way to the north or the eastern part of Nigeria, and you need access to care. You 100% have coverage anywhere you are around Nigeria. Also, in terms of services to our customers, we've also leveraged so much in technology. So coming on board under Leadway Health is 100% seamless. You don't have to start sending paper forms or anything. You can get to register your dependents themselves. You can get to get your e-cards. We don't even do physical cards anymore. So your e-cards are very much available for you to have access to hospitals and the like. So basically, we've put so many things in place to make sure that members are not disserviced on our platform. So that's why we've actually won the best HMO of the year within the past 3 years. And then also in terms of our benefits, I believe we have a particular benefit that we are currently working on. And just in case we still have any self-explanatory on that particular benefit, I'm available for any questions or clarifications that you have for me. Thank you. Please, do you have any questions?
Yes, there are questions that have been posted to the chat box now. You can kindly go through them and then do justice to them one by one.
Okay. I've not gotten any question on the chat box. I'm currently there.
Have you seen the questions?
Okay, yes, I have.
All right, sir.
Okay, so the first one talks about, does the wider test covers without paying extra money to the hospital? Yes. Under Leadway Health, what we have what we call your primary care treatment. So wider test is under your primary care, which is the typhoid test, and under Leadway Health, 100% malaria and typhoid test is 100% covered. You're not going to pay any single extra money. In fact, we tell our customers that if a hospital asks you to pay for a wider test, please inform the HMO. I'll reach out to the hospital to make sure that you are not taking every single money from us in terms of from you as the customer in terms of such kind of test. So yes, we have instances whereby hospitals are always reaching out based on things like that, but 100% wider test is covered under the HMO plan. Number 2 questions. To what percentage is the bill covered under all services? So generally on my standard plan, they have list of things that are covered and are not covered based on the plan. And then also, like I said, we also have a benefit that is actually very much available that we've actually customized in terms of that will suit the need of every single employee. And in terms of those benefits, basically what we do at Leadway is that once you see covered up to or covered to a limit of, that is what we are going to definitely cover for that particular enrollee. We are not going to cut corners in terms of saving costs or saving benefits, and we are not going to end up going for a treatment that under Leadway or under your benefit is unlimited, and the Leadway is going to tell you, oh, you need to pay part of the money for this particular treatment. No, we are not that kind of HMO. So if something is covered in full, Leadway Health to cover it in full. If something is covered up to a particular limit, we'll definitely communicate that particular limit to the customer so that the customer will be able to know whatever balance that is going to be left. So that's how transparent we are. So number 3 question, would your office include things like blood tonic, antibiotics, drugs, ciprotap, anti-malaria drugs, with them. Yes. So basically, the HMO covers things like blood tonic once it's requested by the doctor. It's not that you request for blood tonic. No, you won't be the one to self-request for the blood tonic. If the doctor requests that, oh, you need a blood tonic or a blood capsule, yes, we'll definitely provide that for you. Antibiotics also like Ciprotab and the likes, yes, and anti-malaria drugs are also covered under the HMO scheme as well. So the fourth question that talks about the telemedicine, and then also the kind of drugs that are being delivered. Now, the good thing about Leadway telemedicine is that this Leadway telemedicine is being handled by Leadway alone. We're not contracting, or we're not giving that contract to a different member to handle for us. This is handled strictly by Leadway. So it's our own doctors, and then the pharmacists are our partner. So whatever our doctor prescribe for you is basically what you get from our partner. In fact, we've gone so far in our telemedicine that if a doctor prescribe medication from you, the pharmacists don't even know the prescription until you get to the pharmacy and then you present a code. So there's a unique code that we're going to give to you. Until you mention that code to the pharmacy, then the pharmacy can see what your prescription is to them. So basically, we are that confidential to make sure that whatever the doctor prescribed for you, it's a very good medication, and it's not something, because for us, it is more like a waste of a waste of money if I'm going to keep on prescribing a drug that will not work multiple times to a particular enrollee. It doesn't make any sense, because I'll keep on paying for claims every single time. So why can't I not just give you a particular medication that will work for you once and for all? So basically, yes, after your telemedicine, be rest assured that you are getting the adequate drugs for your treatment. The fifth question is talking about the gym services. So on the plan that was being budgeted, I would actually confirm if there's gym services, but on my standard plan, yes, there's on my own Leadway Health standard plan, there's an allocated gym benefit, but I would also confirm if the plan allocated to the staffs of the organization, if there are gyms access there. But if there are gyms access there, we have our list of gyms that we can work with, and then also we can also sign up gyms. What does that mean? It means that if you have a particular gym that you are interested in using and Leadway Health is not a partnership with that particular gym, you can let us know. We'll talk to the gym and then we'll see if we can bring them on board so that you can also get to use it as well. The sixth question, do you partner with federal hospitals? So partnership with federal hospitals is a yes and a no. So it's not all federal hospitals that we partner with, and most of the federal hospitals that we partner with are based on situations that are beyond private hospitals' control. So let me explain that part. Now, we know in those federal hospitals, you get to see most of these very good specialists in Nigeria. That is where they are. They're practically in these federal hospitals. And in that particular part, whereby these hospitals or these doctors are in these hospitals, we use the doctors themselves, not the federal hospital, because it's very difficult for you to control a federal hospital. But in a private hospital, I know if any member or if any customer of mine that is in a private hospital, I 100% know what hospital that particular person, I know every single contact, I know who to call. But in a federal or a government hospital, there is no way you can control such issues if there's an enrollee stranded at that hospital. There's nobody to call, but we work with them based on some certain some certain cases that we know that private hospitals cannot handle. Then we can refer that member to certain federal hospitals, not all federal hospitals. There are lists of federal hospitals that we work with that are for specific reasons only. So you cannot just walk in there for your normal day-to-day treatment. We don't work with that for your normal day-to-day treatment. So the second question, the seventh question, how would your organization handle a situation where a patient has already prescribed a specific drug or medication? Would such prescription be accepted or honored under your scheme? Okay, so if it's a prescribed medication from a patient, the patient must present that prescription from a hospital, not from a pharmacist, not from a family doctor. The hospital must prescribe that medication. Once we get that prescription from a hospital, because we need to be sure this member visited a hospital, got a prescription from that hospital, because if we won't just allow you to present a blank sheet and tell me, oh, this is a prescription, or we'll not just allow you to give us your family doctor prescription. No, we're not going to allow that. Better still, we'll ask you to use our telemedicine, and then you get a prescription if you don't want to go to the hospital. But every prescription must come from a hospital, a registered hospital, before we can go ahead in distributing any medications on that part. So for the 8th question, well, it talks about scans like endoscopy, CT scan, MRI, and the likes. Yes, we have those particular tests covered under the HMO, but based on the plan that each and every single person would be on, there's a limit whereby those kind of tests, like you said, these tests are actually very costly, but there's a limit to what the HMO will be able to cover you for such tests. So depending on what package that you are going to be on, then there's a particular limit whereby things would be able to cover on that particular test. Please, can they add state hospitals like FMC Adebayo to our HMO this time around? Or is it only private hospitals we can have access to? So, like I said, the issues with most of these federal medical centers is that we don't have 100% control over them. That is one reason HMOs won't work with federal medical centers or federal hospitals, because they don't have full control over them. But in terms of working with private hospitals, like I said, we have easy access and easy control over them. For any of my customer that is in any private hospital, we can call, we can know what is happening, we can know who treated who. Just in case the hospital is not doing their proper treatment, we know how to move that particular person to a different hospital. So these are the kind of things, or these are the reasons why we practically work with private hospitals, not government hospitals, because in a government hospital, it's the bureaucracy there is always very, very frustrating, and in most cases you really don't have any control over it, and then at the end of the day, the customer will be the one to suffer the entire stress and the entire pain at that point in time. So that's why we basically work with private hospitals alone. The 10th question, is scaling and polishing available on your network? Yes, we have scaling and polishing available on the network, and then also we have list of dental facilities. So once you come on board, there are list of dental facilities that will be very, very, very available to every single member, and they can walk in to have their scaling and polishing done. The 11th question, where prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital and subscribers buy out of pocket, is there a refund for this process? No, there is no refund for this process. However, we always advise our customers that once you come on board under the Leadway Health and the hospital don't have that prescribed medication, reach out to us via the customer service. Now, the good thing about Leadway Health customer service is that we just don't do call customer service alone. We also have a WhatsApp customer service, so you can also chat with us on WhatsApp. If you don't want to call us, chat us up on WhatsApp, send your prescription to us on WhatsApp. We are going to tell you the closest pharmacy whereby you can actually pick up that medication. So we don't advise customers to go and buy medications by themselves and then seek for refunds, because at the end of the day, if you buy a medication that is very expensive and won't cost so much under the HMO will end up reimbursing you based on what is going to cost them to buy that particular medication. So it's always advisable. It's always very advisable to reach out to us first before you buy any prescription out of pocket. How would your organization handle out of care network emergency? Okay, that's a very good question. In terms of emergencies, we always tell our customers, in terms of emergency, please go to the closest point of the emergency. So for example, if the emergency happens at point A, you don't need to go to point D to have access to care. if there's a hospital around point A, be it the hospital is registered under Leadway or not, please walk into that hospital in point A, get yourself or get that person stabilized, then reach out to the HMO and then we'll follow up. Also, ambulance services are also available on the plan. So ambulance from home to hospital, hospital to hospital, workplace, church place to hospital, it is covered under the HMO scheme as well. So be rest assured, in terms of emergencies, your HMO is very much available to make sure that that situation is being handled immediately. Number 13 question. What of Afe Babalola Afe Babalola Hospital in Ekiti? That's where they have majority of. So I would confirm what plan is Afe Babalola Hospital, and I can get back to the team concerning the list where that particular hospital is situated. But yes, I think we have a partnership with them. We have a partnership with Afe Babalola Hospital, but I'll confirm what package that particular hospital is on, and then I can advise on that properly. Please, ma'am, would there be prostate or testicular test? Yes, there are those kind of tests is being covered only when it is requested by the doctor. If you just randomly want to wake up and get those kind of tests done, that is not covered under the HMO. You cannot just wake up. But if you've visited the hospital and then there's a need, or the doctor has a need for you to have that particular kind of test available, if the doctor have a need to have that particular kind of test available, yes, we'll definitely cover that particular test for that particular person, because it was requested from the doctor. We'll definitely have that particular test covered for that particular person. So the key word on that part is that it must be requested by the doctor. Then we'll definitely cover it on your plan. Does it cover fertility treatment? No, it doesn't cover fertility treatment. What can only be covered is consultations and investigation. And the investigation is just USS and SFA only. It doesn't cover any consultations. It doesn't cover any treatment of fertility, just consultations and investigations as USS and SFA only. How soon can enrollee be reimbursed in case of out-of-pocket payment, most especially in cases of emergencies? In cases of emergencies, once we have all our information accurate and once we have all the necessary document provided, it takes us 5 working days for reimbursement to be done. So within 5 working days, you get your reimbursement, but all the necessary information must be gathered before we go ahead to make that reimbursement. Okay, I've also answered number 17 question that talks about fertility cases. I've answered that we don't cover fertility cases. Number 18, dental and optical services, are they included? Yes, there's a dental and optical services available on the plan, but based on the package you are on, there's a limit to the dental and optical that one can have. So it's not 100% cover. There's a limitation to such cover. Can we know other medical treatment that requires additional cost from patients? So basically, the HMO doesn't cover. There are some certain things that the HMO cover, what we call exclusions, right? So there are some exclusion services that the HMO generally doesn't cover. However, in a case whereby whatever that you see on your package, it is 100% covered by the HMO. So whatever package that you are on, we have a list of things that that are covered on that, and once those things is being accessible at the hospital or is needed at the hospital, the HMO will 100% cover that as well for you. How do you protect our info, and do you share them with these subsidiaries, or when they come in, or where do they come in? I really don't understand what number 20 question is. What information are you talking about? And also what subsidiary? I don't know if you can make more clarity on that. If you're the person that asked number 20 question, please help me with such information, I'll be very, very much able to answer that. I really don't have so much information about the info and the subsidiary. Number 21. My question is that my wife is heavily pregnant. We are already registered at Unique Hospital, attending antenatal with a date given to us. Now we are bidding for another new HMO. How would my wife cover for antenatal? So basically, if you are under Leadway, so basically the way HMO works is that once they've paid for antenatal, I believe that your previous HMO have already paid for antenatal. So once they've paid for antenatal, the antenatal runs through the course of the year. What we can now do as Leadway is to make sure that we are paying for the maternity option as well. So definitely be rest assured that your wife will be covered for maternity, but for the antenatal, we cannot pay again because the hospital has already received payments from that previous case. And be rest assured that we will also help you investigate to make sure that necessary payments have been done for your wife, but we are going to be covering her for the maternity once the transition is complete. I'm sure the rating of that app I want to ask that a patient have gotten a history beforehand and he knows his medication for and prescription. Can he take the drugs to the medical store via the HMO? So for a prescription that is a chronic medications and the likes, what you do is that once you come on board under the HMO, we will just tell you where we'll ask you for those information. And then once you give us the information of your prescriptions, we'll make sure that we are going to deliver your prescriptions for you, your medications for you without any stress. So your medications will be delivered to you month on month. If you're on chronic medication on the package, we are going to, all you just need to do is to just show us your prescription and we'll make sure that your medications are being delivered month on month for you. As an enrollee, how many dependents can I add and what is the age limit? So I believe this question is for the HR. As an enrollee, I won't be the one as the HMO to tell you the numbers of dependents you can add and what is the age limit. But generally, our standard age limit under Leadway HMO is 25. We don't add above 25 for dependents. And then also your dependents must be your spouse and your biological children. That's the standard. Your spouse and your biological children. We are not going to cover your parents. We're not going to cover your siblings. We're not going to cover your nannies, your helps, and the likes. We're not going to cover all that. It must be strictly your spouse and your biological children only. Give us those measures you mentioned you put in place to make things easier for us. And sorry, hold on. I just want to change the location. Okay, so give us some of those measures you mentioned you put in place to make things easier for us, and what makes you different from other HMOs that you mentioned. So basically, what makes us different from other HMOs is just our services to our customers and then also to hospitals as well. So like I said earlier on, we've made sure that servicing our customers is 100% key to us at Leadway. We're not just a new organization. We've been in existence for over 55 years old. And coming up as a new HMO, it also gives us the more advantage to say this is what our parent company has done in terms of service, and this is what we can also do for you as a customer coming on board in terms of the HMO. And when we talk about health insurance is a different kind of insurance. Is very, very I'm trying to look for the word. It's very, very personal to people, because the way you handle a car insurance, a burglary insurance, is not the same way you handle health insurance. We actually have to make sure that customers is key to us and customers are king to us. So in terms of you having access to care, we've made sure that our enrollee numbers are very much available for you. Our enrollee numbers are available for you. Easy access to hospitals. You have PAN locations whereby you can actually know what hospital is around your area. So if you're in Lagos, for example, so currently I'm in Lagos, I'm currently situated in Surulere. If I open my mobile application, I can get to see hospitals around that mobile application, around my location, to saying this is where I need to go to. Rather than for you to start calling the customer care or to start calling your relationship manager to know information like that, you can do that at your own comfort without any stress. I want to ask if the HMO covers diagnosis services. Yes, the HMO covers diagnosis services. So on the plan, you have access to hospitals, diagnosis centers, pharmacies, and the likes. But you cannot just walk into a diagnosis center to do anything. Like I said, it must be requested for or by a doctor. A doctor must request first before you can walk into a diagnosis center to do what you need to do. Does HMO cover fibroid surgery? Yes, the HMO covers fibroid surgery. But based on your plan you are on, there's a limitations to your surgical limit, but the HMO covers fibroid surgery as well. Do you have prescriptions to refill for me? Yes, we do. I just explained it, whereby you are covered for your monthly prescriptions, your refill. Leadway Health is going to protect you and cover you for every single process on that particular part. So thank you very much, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to my presentation and answering all your questions. Please feel free to reach out any single time you have further questions for us. We'll be very much available to answer all that. All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nathan Katapo. You can kindly exit the conversations. Thank you.
You know, they allow me to unmute. See, I don't drop message for them. May they allow me. Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Adeoye. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Good morning. We can hear you.
Good morning, sir. All
right,
thank you. All right, thank you, sir. Permit me to quickly, please also allow me to share my screen. It says host disabled participants screen sharing. But not just to waste time, before I'm allowed to share my screen, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Oluwasegun Adeoye. I'm the regional manager for Lagos Island region for A1 HMO. On the call, I also have another regional manager for the mainland part of Lagos, Aslem Achinine, and I have the head of our provider network management team, Dr. Ike Naoyebuchi, also on the call. And as a way of introduction, Avon HMO is one of the leading indigenously owned HMO in the country. We've been in business for well over 13 years now, and we've served different clients from different sectors of the economy. We've served all kinds of clients, from large to medium to small corporate organizations, even up to government pastors as well. At the moment, we also have River State Internal Revenue services with us, and we are glad to have a conversation, this conversation that is ongoing with Ekiti State Internal Revenue service as well. I'm still not able to share my screen, but moving forward, I also understand we've been in business, like I mentioned, for 13 years, and we allow roaming on our plants. We are a national HMO, which means we have providers spread across the nooks and crannies of the country, in Lagos, in Ibadan, in Sokoto, in all regions in the country. You find our presence there, and we allow roaming on our plants. Roaming means you're not limited to your primary provider or the providers within your vicinity. If you find yourself in any part of the country at any point in time, you are able to access care in any hospital that is available on your plan in the state. And I also understand that you're speaking with to quite a number of HMOs, and you probably also have dealt with quite a number of HMOs. And when you look at the benefit breakdown of the top HMOs in the country, you realize that some of the benefits look similar. Of course, limits per benefit can be different, but of course, the number of benefits, medical benefit on the plans look similar. So what then stands Avon HMO out of the crowd? What stands Avon HMO out of all of the other HMOs that we have in the country? So number one, I'm going to be speaking on our investment in technology. Of course, this is 2026. We want to ensure that we remove to the barest minimum human interaction, with from our enrollees when connected to Avon HMO. So what we want to do is to automate all of our processes to ensure that at every point in time, our enrollees are able to solve their problems even themselves. And that is why we continue to optimize our mobile app. Our mobile app today in the industry is the most advanced mobile app in the industry. Of course, when you look at some other HMO's mobile app, you're able to see your benefit list. You're able to see what your limit is accrued to your benefits in the whole year. But one thing we've done separately, and we've moved one step further, is to ensure that at every point in time, you are also able to see your utilization tracker on the mobile app. So there's a utilization tracker feature on the mobile app that ensures that every point in time, you can see your current real-time limits or real-time, of course, limit on the benefit. So for example, for optical care, if your limit is say 200,000, and you've been to the optical center once in a year, say for example, you went to the hospital in January, to the optical center in January to access optical care, of course, you spent maybe 100,000 from the 200,000. When you go back to the optical center sometime in July or in September in the year, on your mobile app, you're able to see the balance on that particular benefit, and that cuts across all of the benefits on your plan that has limits. Of course, there are so many benefits that doesn't have limits, like consultation, especially consultation, general consultation, admission in hospital. All of those things do not come with limits, so you might not see those utilization on the mobile app. But for benefits that have limits, these benefits are tracked in real time. Your utilization is tracked in real time. And one other thing we've also done, to make our mobile app well advanced, is that at the level of the hospital, you are able to also follow up on your pre-authorization. So when I say pre-authorization, I mean that approval that when you get to the hospital is saying, oh, we are waiting for your HMO to approve what we've sent to them. So what then happens at that point is that on the mobile app, once that request is sent to us via our provider portal that we've given to these hospitals, on the mobile app, you get it updated on the mobile app immediately, because of course, before they can share an approval for you, the most likely will definitely put in your enrollee ID. So immediately it fits into our database and your mobile app is updated. So you can open your mobile app immediately and see whether truly or not the hospital has actually reached out to Avon HMO for an approval. One thing we've also noticed over the years is that some of these hospitals also use this as a delay tactics. Sometimes they might not even have the specialists that want to see you at that moment. And instead of them to complain to say, oh, you have to wait for maybe an hour for you to be able to access, for you to be able to see this particular specialist or something. They just come to you and say your HMO is not responding to us yet. However, they've not sent any request to us. So you are able to also, have a real-time update on your authorization with this feature on the mobile app. You're able to see how long it took the hospital to send an approval to Avon, and of course, how long it took Avon HMO to respond. On the mobile app as well, of course, there's telemedicine. This is what every other HMO in the industry does as well. So there's telemedicine on our mobile app where you are able to consult virtually with doctors at any point in time in the day. On the mobile app as well, you are able to also chat with us in real time. So there's a live chat feature on the mobile app. So we also understand that for all of this technological advancement that we've provided for all of our enrollees, sometimes this technology may fail. So one thing we've also done well is to ensure that there is also different communication channels available to all of our enrollees. At every point in time you find yourself in the hospital and there's the need for you to reach out to Avon HMO, there are several channels through which you can reach out to us. So number one, we run a 24/7 contact center. Our contact center is manned by trained nurses and they are supervised by trained doctors. So at every point in time, and they run on shift. So whether 1 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, 11 p.m. in the night, you are able to reach out to Please confirm you can hear me. I can see some messages that there is no audio again. Dr. Ikena or Anslem, please confirm you can hear me.
Sorry, what did you say, sir?
I want to confirm if you can hear me. I'm seeing some messages on the chat box that there's no
Yes,
audio
those are
again.
questions that are meant for you. Don't worry, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. So I was explaining the different communication channels that we put in place. Our 247 contact center, of course, we run 247. And one promises we are giving to all of our enrollees is that when you make a call to our contact center, when it rings, when it connects, that someone is actually picking within 10 seconds. Part of our investment in technology is to also have a multi-channel pickup point in our contact center where there are several agents at every point in time picking calls. And within 10 seconds, someone is actually picking up your calls. We understand that sometimes, not just for HMOs only, even for some telecommunication companies, some service rendering companies, when you call their contact center, there might probably be like a 2 minutes, 3 minutes music that you have to listen to before someone is speaking a lot of those things. But you would not experience something like that with Avon. Once it connects, within 10 seconds, someone is speaking your call. There's something we also do that is called mystery shopping. Mystery shopping means we want to firsthand taste the experience that all of our enrollees are having at the level of the hospital. So one thing we do is to send our staff to different hospitals at different times in the year, to access care and see firsthand the experience of our enrollees. This initiative has made it possible for us to identify some gaps and of course continue to work on some of these gaps. There are also some timelines that we've improved upon for us. I've spoken about one of it already, which speaks to 10 seconds pickup time for when you make a call to our contact center. However, there's another one which is on the refund. So we usually discourage payment out of pocket, but for emergency reasons, there might be a need for you to pay out of pocket because, of course, under emergency, we are not asking you to look for any Avon accredited hospitals close to you, the point of emergency. Just take that enrollee to the closest hospital. If there's a need for resuscitation, there is a need for stabilization, let all of those things be done and then reach out to Avon HMO. So you need to commit and make some deposits at this hospital at this point in time. Once you upload on the mobile app, once you upload all of the necessary documents to process this refund, we actually make payment to you within 48 hours. That is the best timeline currently in the industry. Within 48 hours, in fact, internally, we are working with 24 hours. However, of course, just to manage your expectations, we are going to promise that 48 hours, you're going to get your payment. So if all of those reconciliatory documents are uploaded on the mobile app, you get your refund within 24 hours. So hospitals, one thing you also not find or hear from all of our hospitals is that we are owing hospitals. And in fact, in Ekiti State, we actually have relationship with several private hospitals and up to 17 different government hospitals cut across all parts of Ekiti State, from Ikole to Otun to Ado Ekiti to different part of all of the FMCs that you have in Ekiti State. From all of them, we have a current relationship with 17 of them, and not just on referral basis, walk-in basis. You can walk into those FMCs and you can get access to care immediately in the hospital. So generally, what we promise all of our enrollees and intending enrollees at Avon HMO is that we're not just selling a healthcare plan to you. We are selling you, we are giving to you what we call a peace of mind. We're giving to you what we call an experience. So you're on a journey with Avon HMO. You're on a healthcare management journey with Avon HMO. We are going to ensure at every point in time, not only do we provide these medical services that you need promptly to you, that we also try and manage your cost. We also try and manage your expectations. We also try and even manage fraud, waste, and abuse on the part of the hospitals that will not eat into your utilization. And overall, your experience with us is to ensure that you continue to live a fuller and healthier life, and you have a seamless access to care at every point in time that you need this access to care. There's also a chat bot, a WhatsApp chat feature for people that want to reach out to us via WhatsApp, because we understand that this is 2026. There are a lot of Gen Zs, a lot of people that do not want to use the email, the traditional email or phone call to reach out to our people to get solution. If you want to use WhatsApp, of course, we are going to give you our WhatsApp number where you can chat us immediately and you can get a solution for your issues. Thank you very much. I would then like to take questions from here.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Oluwasegun. Some questions have been posted to the chat box. You can kindly go through them. You can do justice to the questions one after the other. Hello, Mr. Oluwasegun.
Hello, are you there? Mr. Adeoye. Hello, Mr. Adeoye.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
He's muted.
Hello, Mr. Adeoye. Okay. On mute.
Can you hear us now? Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. I've been trying to unmute
Okay,
since
so
the last
do
time.
justice to the questions.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so the first question says, does the wider test cover without extra payment to the hospital? Yes, wider test is covered on the plan without extra payment to the hospital. However, due to advanced medical research and medical innovations, wider test is kind of obsolete for some of the tests, some of the indications that is being used for. So there are other tests that we recommend, especially when you want to do the wider test, maybe for to detect typhoid and all of those, and maybe malaria. So there are other tests, but however, if wider test is what's recommended, of course, it's covered on the plan without extra payment to the hospital. To what percentage? Second question: to what percentage is the bill covered for all services? So there's no. This is not a co-payment arrangement. It's 100% payment from the HMO. However, payment is done based on up to the limits on the plan. So there are limits on the plan. So I know we customize 3 different plans for Ekiti State IRS, and the 3 plans, of course, have different limits. So payment will be made by the HMO up to the limits on the plan. Number 3 says, will your office include blood tonic, antibiotics, drugs like Cipotab and anti-malaria drugs? So yes, while blood tonic and some supplement are generally not covered under the HMO scheme, with Avon HMO on a case-by-case basis, we review requests for supplements on a case-by-case basis, and why some might be rejected, of course, some are also approved based on the doctor's report and the doctor's indications. All anti-malaria drugs are actually covered on the plan. Number 4 says, experience has shown that under the telemedicine arrangement previously, there were concerns about the prescription of lower quality of drugs. How does your HMO intend to address and effectively manage this issue? So, well, I don't know what experience this question is actually speaking to, but for us, for our telemedicine and whether you go to the hospital to receive, you get medications at the hospital's dispensary, the quality of drugs remain the same. We give the best quality of drugs, especially when it is prescribed. Um, um, So one thing we also usually do is to also deliver drugs. So we ask you to pick up drugs at our network of pharmacies that we have, around your vicinity. So when you have concerns around the quality of medications that you're getting, whether via telemedicine or at the level of the hospital, it's possible for you to reject, send the prescription to us, and we can ask you to pick up, the medication at a closest pharmacy to your location, whether your office or your residential address. The next question says, please, will there be gym service for those that are interested? Yes. On our plans, gym services are covered. On the plans that we've designed for Ekiti State IRS2, gym service is also covered on the 3 plans. Do you partner with Federal Hospital? Yes. I mentioned it already. I think we're about the only HMO, or probably one of the few HMOs that have partnership with a lot of federal hospitals in Ekiti State, and not just in Ekiti State, of course, across the nation, but in Ekiti State specifically, we have up to 17 different federal hospitals that you can walk into and get access to. Okay, not just federal hospitals. I'm just focusing on federal hospitals because of the question. Of course, we have other private hospitals with us as well in Ekiti State. The next question says, how would the organization handle a situation where a patient has already been prescribed specific drugs or medication? Will such prescription be accepted and honored under your scheme? Okay, so when for HMO scheme generally, you're not meant to, of course, request for a particular drug, or a particular medication. When it is a prescribed medication, when you come on board with us, one thing we always advise for people, especially for people that are having chronic conditions, we always advise that you consult on our plan. Within the first week or second week that you're onboarded, please consult on our plan so that we can bring you into, so we have a chronic condition management program. For us to be able to update that system, that software with your credentials, or should I say with your details, so that the system can prompt us to also do routine medication delivery and all of those things, and we can continue to check up and follow up on your condition. We always advise that you consult within the first 2 weeks on our plan. So when you consult and we get, of course, the request and all of those things from the hospital, we can update the system, the chronic management program system, with your details, and from there we can pick up whatever medication that needs to be delivered and all of those things to you. And one thing we also advise is that especially when you're on our chronic conditions management program, we always advise that after 3 consecutive medications are delivered to you, that is maybe for 3 months, that you also go back to consult again, because there might be a need for that medication to either be the potency, it's either it's reduced or increased, or there's a need to review the condition. Maybe there are some things that you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing, that you need that the doctor needs to advise on, or maybe based on the treatment and medications you're getting, maybe you're not getting better. There's no need for you to continue on that high potency. Then all of those things can be determined when you consult again. The next question says, we have some tests that are very costly, like endoscopy, CT, and MRI. With research, just few hospitals have this equipment, only 1 or 2 have this equipment in Ekiti. Are you ready to partner with Affair and State, because these tests are highly costly, and does the plan cover those tests? So yes, the plan actually covers CT and MRI. For us at Avon, endoscopy test is covered based on endoscopy test, and treatment, of course, is covered based on doctor's recommendation. So when we get a request for it, of course, it's covered on the plan. And for Affair Babalola, actually, we've been speaking with Affair Babalola for some few months now, And in fact, before joining this call today, I got an update from our provider relationship manager for Ekiti State that conversation are moving closer to closure. So before the end of this particular month that we started, of course, Afewaola will be part of.
Please, can you speak up, Mr. Adeoye? We can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now.
Oh, okay. So I was saying Afewaola is one of the hospitals in Ekiti State that we are currently having conversation with. That conversation started, I think, in Q4 2025, and before the end of this month, we will have them on our plan. However, there are other centers in Ekiti State that can actually carry out this test as listed. Please, can they add the State Hospital of FMC at Adebayo to our HMO this time around, or is it only private hospital? So, like I mentioned, we have relationship with government hospitals. I'll confirm if FMC. I'll be able to share my screen if okay. I've been allowed to share my screen now. So these are some of the hospitals that we are partnered with in Ekiti State at the moment. We'll probably check again to confirm if Adebayo is part of it. If it is not, of course, we'll also discuss with this hospital to have them on board on the plan. Is scaling and polishing available on your network? And do you have in Ekiti? Yes, scaling and polishing is available, and we also have partnered dental centers in Ekiti State that you can have those things done. Where prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital and subscriber pay out of pocket, is there a refund for this, and what is the process? So if a drug, like I mentioned, if a medication is not available in the hospital, please ensure that you reach out to even HMO there in the hospital. You can have the prescription sent to us while we deliver the medication to you, or ask you to pick up the medication at any of our partnered pharmacies. However, if for any reason that medication cannot be delivered to you and there's a need for you to pay out of pocket, the Avon representative that you're speaking with will give you what is called a refund code. So there's usually a refund code that is always regenerated so that you can use that refund code to actually get your refund. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, if you upload all of the required documents, which includes the prescription, the invoice, and the payment that you make, within 48 hours, that refund will be made to you. How would your organization handle out of care network in emergency situation? I think I spent quite a minute on emergency. So for Avon, emergency situations, please don't start looking for Avon HMO affiliated hospitals within the from the point of emergency. Please take that patient to any hospital at all that is closest to the point of emergency. However, we always advise that within 24 hours that you reach out to Avon HMO, and there are reasons for it. Because of time, I'll just quickly gloss over it. Number one is that due to the public's limited knowledge of the provider capabilities, we always advise that you let us know when there's an emergency so that we even determine if the hospital you've taken that person to can actually handle that care. Now, there are several cases, and I'm sure everybody on this call will have heard of a case of someone that was probably stabbed or someone that has a gunshot injury, and the person is taken to one first hospital. The hospital rejects the patient, taken to another hospital, the second hospital rejects, third hospital rejects, because they do not have the capability to take care of that emergency case. So what then happens is that for the next 2-3 hours, this patient that is dying is taken from one hospital to another, and nobody is accepting the case. If at that point in time, even HMO is alerted, we are able to tell you which hospital can actually handle that case. And even before the patient is taken to that hospital, we've alerted the hospital to expect an emergency case that is coming. And at that point in time, it makes it very seamless. Even if driving from the point of emergency to the hospital takes 40 minutes, it's still better than taking the person to a hospital that is 5 minutes away, rejected, 20 minutes away, rejected, another 30 minutes away, rejected. And before you know it, 2-3 hours, that person is not getting care. So for emergency cases, we usually advise that you quickly reach out to Avon while you take the person to the closest hospital. Then immediately from there, we can advise whether the person can continue to take care in that hospital or needs to be referred to another hospital. What of Afe Babalola? Because it's the best hospital in Ekiti currently. Like I mentioned, Afe Babalola will be on our list before the end of the month. Will there be prostate or testicular tests, also ovarian cancer or breast cancer tests? So yes, there's a cancer limit on the plan, and of course, I think for the second and third plan, there are tests that has to do with cancer, mammogram, cervical test, and all of those things. Does the plan cover fertility treatment? Yes, even up to 200,000 limit on the third plan, there's fertility treatment covered on the plan. The next plan says, does the organization have hospitals we can access, I think, across the 16 local government areas of Ekiti State? Yes, almost all of the local government areas are covered under Avon HMO in Ekiti State. How soon can an enrollee be reimbursed in the case of out-of-pocket payment, especially in emergency cases? 48 hours. I mentioned this already. Do you cover fertility cases? If yes, to what extent? I said it already too. Fertility cases and infertility cases are covered up to the tune of 200,000 on the plan. Are dental and optometric clinics included in your services? Yes, we have them on our services. Can we know the other medical treatment that requires additional cost from the payment from the patient? There are actually some exclusions. So for the HMO scheme, exclusions are exclusions. We don't pay for exclusions at all. However, for benefits that are covered, like I mentioned from the beginning of my presentation, benefits that are covered to a certain limit. When you then exhaust the limit, that is when there's a need for you to then make payment out of pocket. At that point in time, we also do some negotiations on behalf of enrollees, because of course, when you're making payment out of pocket, the hospital charges higher because of course you're coming as a single person. But for us as HMO, because of the numbers we give them, we are able to, negotiate for a better discount, and we use this negotiation to the benefit of enrollees that need to make payment out of pocket after exhausting their limit as well. How do you protect our info, and do you share them with this subsidiary, or where do they come? So I think this question is for another HMO, but it applies to even HMO too, because we're actually part of a larger group too. We are part of the S Holdings group. So we have so many sister companies too, and we are binded by the Nigerian data privacy clauses, and we are signed into all of the clauses as well. In fact, internally, we have a special department for data protection. Data protection policy, we have a special department in our legal team for data protection only. So be rest assured that all of your data is protected. Your data is protected. Your data is there's a policy around your data, and will not be shared with any third party at any point in time. My question is that my wife is heavily pregnant. Congratulations. We already registered at Unique Hospital, attending antenatal. We did given to us in the hospital between April and May. Now we are begging, okay, we are coming on another HMO. How will my wife continue antenatal? So we have Unique on our plan, on our system. So what it means is that your wife will just continue to access care. Since antenatal payment has been made by the former HMO, sometimes the hospital might want to place mass by asking us for antenatal. We can have discussion with the hospital, of course, on the fact that antenatal payment has been made already. Or if they are insistent, we can go ahead and make that payment. It's already covered on the plan. We can go ahead and make that payment. And when there is the time, of course, the time for delivery, we also cover the delivery. If there's a need, I hope, God forbid, for it to be cesarean section, of course, is also covered on the plan. I want to ask that a patient have an history beforehand, and he knows his medication for prescription, and you just take drugs from medical store where they no. So self-prescription, even if the prescription was made by a medical doctor, especially when the prescription is not recent. If it's not like a prescription you got yesterday or 2 weeks ago or last month, we usually advise that you go back to consult. I've explained the reason why people on routine medication need to go back to consult at the hospital, so that there's a need to review the condition, review the medication, and there's a need for any review in treatment lines, that will also be done with the consultants. As an enrollee, how many dependents can I add, and what is the age limit? So for a family, it's usually a family of 6, principal, which is their staff, spouse, and 4 children. Age limit for principal and spouse for even HMO is 65, while age limit for child dependents is 21. However, it's not cast in stone. If there is a need to extend the 21 years age limit to maybe say 23 or 25, especially if the children are still students, then we can have that discussion with HR and also ensure that that is captured. Give us some of the measures you mentioned you have put in place to make things easier for us, and what makes you different as the best HMO that you mentioned. So I've said a lot about what differentiates one HMO from all of the HMOs in the country. Our major mantra is to ensure that all of our enrollees live a fuller and healthier life. And how do we do this? We understand that the hospital is not a place where people want to go and spend a lot of time waiting or faffing around. So we want to ensure that your care is seamless, your care is fast. You get to the hospital, you get access to care immediately. If there's any delay, you're able to reach out to even HMO and you can leave the hospital immediately. We want to ensure that your healthcare journey do not in any way affect, except for people that are actually treating maybe terminal diseases. You want to ensure that you go to the hospital, access care, and your access to care does not affect your regular lifestyle, doesn't affect your work. You can go to the hospital, get access to care, and go back to your office that same day, instead of going to the hospital and you spend all of the day in the hospital, dragging your HR, dragging the HMO, dragging the hospital, and all of those stress. We want to take that stress away from you by ensuring that not only do we optimize our software, our internal processes, our approval processes, but also to ensure that there's someone available. I forgot to mention that we're also going to give you a dedicated client manager. We also have a team called a key account team that has 3 different client managers assigned to clients. And I'm sure it is states RRS when you come on board, you also be assigned 3 different client managers. So if you're unable to reach member A, you can reach member B, you can reach member C, you can reach me, you can reach Victor, you can reach so many people within the event. And in fact, we can even go one step further by creating a WhatsApp group where we're going to have the HR team, and maybe if you have an ad hoc committee, we have every member of that ad hoc committee on the WhatsApp group. Myself will be there. My group head will be there. We'll also bring in all of the supervisors of our contact center. We have 4 different supervisors. We'll bring all of them into that WhatsApp group. It's going to be a close-knit group just for escalations, and we're able to resolve issues in real time using that group. I want to ask if HMO covers diagnostic services. Yes, definitely. Okay, I think this was for Leadway. Cover fiber surgery. Yes, we do also at Avon HMO. Do you have drug prescription refill after initial prescription? Yes. So drug refill, I mentioned also for people on routine medication. We do refill, especially when you're under our chronic condition management program. We do refill for you for the first 2-3 months. But like I mentioned, we usually advise that after 3 months, you also go back and consult, so that there are some tests that are also carried out to ensure that the treatment you're getting, the medication you're using is actually working as it is. Another question is, does the plan cover surgeries? Yes, it does. And other specialized services like dentition and eye care services, yes, they are covered on the plan. I think I've answered all of the questions. If there is any other question, please let me know. Like I mentioned, I also have one of our doctors on the call, Dr. Ikena Oyebuchi. I'm not sure if he has any clarification to make on any of the questions asked. Please, I will request that he's also unmuted so that I can speak. Dr. Ikena Oyebuchi.
Hello, Mr. Adeoye. Hello, Mr. Adeoye. Okay, maybe we need to admit that person. Any indicator? Can you tell us his name so we can unmute him? Mr. Adeoye. Hello.
Mr. Ade, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm typing on the
What is
group chat already. His name is Ikena Oyebuchi. Ikena Oyebuchi.
now? Okay.
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 Position you are doing, man. You're meant to do this since it's Friday now.
Mr. Ikena, we can hear you.
Hello, Dr. Ikena.
Yeah. We can hear you, sir.
I'm here, hold on. Okay, hello?
Yes, Dr. Ikena.
So,
I was mentioning if you have any clarification to make on the questions asked.
Okay. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I appreciate bringing us up to this call and this meeting. So for the hospitals, we are having more hospitals. In fact, it has increased to about 40-something hospitals now. So we have hospitals in most of the general hospitals in most of the Ekiti and the FMCs and the state hospital. However, for Afe Babalola, we've received documents, and as Mr. Shego promised, to be ready this month. We are almost rounding up with that. So for the provider end, we are going to ensure that you're adequately covered in terms of provider accessibility. Then when it comes to for quality of drugs, we have good network of pharmacies across the nation, and Ekiti is not out of it. So for Ekiti, anybody who needs medications, who can easily get good quality medication through our pharmacy. And we also carry out quality assurance with all our providers to ensure that they deliver quality service and good quality medication. So these are some things that we partner our providers on to ensure that the proper things are done. So because of that, our contact center, our medical team, installation team are all manned by medical professionals to ensure that to ensure that the quality of what is coming for the hospital is in line with international best practices. So thank you very much. That I have to add.
Okay, thank you for your time. Mr. Oluwasegun, there's a question in the chat box. The question is there. Please, can you answer the question?
Hospital in Ado-Ekiti are not including the ones with facilities.
Yes, what can you say about that?
I will need some clarification on what that means. And not including the one with facilities. Does it say that we don't have hospitals in Ado, or I don't get it, sir?
Yes, like you don't have enough coverage within Ado-Ekiti.
So we are, like I mentioned, and like Dr. Ikena mentioned, we are actually in constant discussion with hospitals, and we can actually onboard. So from all of our previous conversations, we've also requested for list of hospitals that you would like us to onboard, and we've committed. And of course, this commitment is coming in probably like the third or fourth time, that when you give us this list, that within a month all of those hospitals will be on our plan. We started conversation with some of the hospitals that we've been conversing with for from months and years back, and of course we'll continue to have this conversation until we have enough hospitals that you require. Just give us a list, and within a month we'll work on the hospital. We have so many hospitals that we are partnered with, not just in Ekiti and in some other states, that due to the number of demand for those hospitals, dropped for a considerable period of time. And within that period of time, our contract expired because, of course, there was nobody going to the hospital. But of course, now that there's a demand, we can revisit all of those conversations, reactivate our contract. If we don't have a contract with them anymore, we can, come up with a contract, and within a month, we'll have all of them on board on the plan again. Thank you. Another question says, the general hospital will treat Enrole as usual. I want good hospital with good facility. I cannot see Olivier Abuad is conspicuously missing here. Yes, sir or ma, if you were listening, I mentioned that Abuad will be on our plan before the end of this particular month. Olive and any other hospital that you want access to, just send the list to the HR. HR will collate, send to us, and within a month, we'll have every one of them available on the plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne HMO. Thank you so much. You can kindly exit the conversation now. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. We look forward to hearing from you again very soon. Thank you.
Is anybody from Metro Health? You're on the line. Okay. What's your name? Okay. Mediplan. Okay.
Yeah, what's your name on the?
Okay. Hello.
You are on. You are on, ma'am. You can have
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
it.
Yeah, my name is Oluwatosin Akintewe, and with me on the line today is Mr. Adeyinka Adeniran, the General Manager of Mediplan Healthcare Limited. Let me about Mediplan. Mediplan is an organization. We were incorporated in the year 2000. We have over 23 years of experience in HMO business, and also we have appearances in all the states of Nigeria. We have been accredited by the federal government, and due to this, we have some federal government parastatals which we manage on behalf of NHIA on the National Health Insurance Scheme. I know a lot of HMOs have spoken, but I will say this. There's one particular thing that makes us unique and different from every other HMO are two things. The first one is our relationship and flexibility. What do I mean by flexibility? From every HMO, we will realize that for every plan, there is a limit. Now, for that limit, when you get to the hospital and you've exhausted your limit, you will have to pay out of your pocket. However, in Mediplan Healthcare, there is a system whereby even when you get to the hospital, let's take for example someone that has to do maybe a cesarean section or needs to go for appendectomy surgery, and on getting to the facility or to the hospital, the person realizes that, okay, my limit is 500, but this surgery is going to be done for 700. However, this person does not have the 200,000 naira to pay immediately for this service. With Mediplan Healthcare Limited, on behalf of that individual, on behalf of that client, the HMO of, the HR of IRS can actually send us a message telling us to cover the bill of that enrollee and stating when the enrollee or when the organization is going to pay us. This kind of service is not a service that is actually common within HMOs, but we render this service because we believe that health is wealth. And the first thing with everybody is health. So we look after your health, even though your limit does not carry that care. If you write us, we pay on your behalf, then you pay us back. Another thing is our app. We have a very functional app. Once you have our application with you, you open the application, you can easily get into the application, you get your policy number there, you get your ID card there. If you're anywhere in Nigeria and you need to access care, with Mediplan app, you can go into the app to see the nearest location, the nearest hospital to where you are. Another beautiful thing about the app is, with the app, you can know your utilization. What do I mean by that? Maybe you visited the hospital like 3 times, or you've gone for your optical care and you want to know how much was actually charged, or you want to know if you still have a balance. If you go on your app will tell you what you have left under each of your benefits. Our app is so comprehensive that through the app, if you want to effect a change of hospital, you can actually effect a change of hospital. If you want to do a telemedicine, you want to call, our telemedicine is available. You can easily do it via the app without you having to stress yourself or using another means. Another thing about Mediplan is that we have a functional call center. We have actually invested in our call centers so much that you can actually reach us in several ways. You can reach us via WhatsApp, you can reach us via SMS, you can reach us via email. So our call centers are very, very, very flexible. You can easily access care with our call centers without you having to do out-of-pocket payment or without you having to stress yourself. Now, for Mediplan Healthcare also, we do something called forum. We can agree together with the HR that, okay, maybe every 3 months, every 4 months, biannual, you want us to come in and do forum with your staff. We can actually come in and do forum with your staff. Another thing we do is health talk. You can call us in to come in and do health talk for your staff. We will be doing all this without having to charge you extra. We come in, we do health education for the staff, and also you can also call us in maybe for your health week with the agreement with HR's our negotiation and discussion with the HR. You can actually call us in to run on behalf of the organization some medical tests for your members or staffs. These are the things we do in MediPlan that make us more unique and different from every other HMO. In MediPlan Healthcare, we have our hospitals nationwide. Every part of the state, we have a hospital, also in Ekiti. However, with the number of hospitals we have presently in Ado-Ekiti, in Ekiti State, we are working on other hospitals. We've started speaking with other hospitals and we have been getting a good response from hospitals to onboard them on the scheme. So we are promising you that if you take us in, even before your staff starts the scheme, we will have all the hospitals that is being required by your staff on the scheme, because we've actually started talking with some HMOs. Another thing is our out-of-station care. Out-of-station care is very flexible. Like I said, with our app, you will see where our hospitals are in each state you visit. And with that, you can actually visit any of these hospitals with your ID card and you access care at those facilities without you having to pay out of pocket. Also, we have a process that we call our refund process. In MediPlan Healthcare, looking at hospitals, they don't have all the facilities, that's the truth. And sometimes being an hospital, their consumables get exhausted easily. Now, if peradventure any of your staff visited an hospital or visits an hospital and they could not dispense their consumables to them because they are not available at that facility, if the staff should go out and push and buy this drug outside, we promise in MediPlan that the person will get a refund for this drug that he or she had bought. When it comes to accident and emergency in MediPlan, unlike every other HMO, we don't box you to a particular hospital. What do I mean? Let's assume there is an accident, whether a home accident, office place accident, a bike accident, car accident. Wherever the accident happens, because it is an accident, we expect that that person be taken to the nearest hospital to wherever he or she is and communicate MediPlan within 42 hours. Now, this is the case. If the person is being rushed to that hospital and the person is unconscious, the person will have to communicate to us once he's conscious. You know, sometimes an individual can be unconscious and it may last for a week, 4 weeks, 2 weeks. We are not talking about that now, but we are talking about situation whereby an individual had an accident and is being rushed to an hospital. The person, if the person is conscious, the person should please call us immediately after accessing care. But however, if the person is not conscious or does not have the strength, if possible between 24 hours, or if the HR can communicate us on behalf of that person, then the person can receive his or her treatment at that hospital without much stress. Another thing we do is we do double, how will I put this now? A situation whereby an individual visits an hospital, you know, sometimes, maybe depending on the professionalism of the doctor on ground, an individual may access care at a particular hospital over a time and the ailment keeps coming back. In MediPlan Healthcare, there is a room for second opinion. If the client calls and says that, oh, I've been accessing care in this hospital for the past 2 months and the hospital has not been able to fix what the ailment is, we will refer that person for second opinion in another hospital to access care, which is not something that is actually common within the HMO. And one thing we can promise you in Mediplan Healthcare is that as long as you are with Mediplan Healthcare, we are highly communicable. We are accessible. You can reach us at any time. Our service is 24 hours. And with the scheme, we can guarantee you that if you try Mediplan Healthcare services, you will enjoy us. One of the reasons is because we don't owe hospitals. We have an agreed payment time with hospitals, which we align with. We work with the aligned payment terms. And for hospital, money is the key. Once they know that they are getting their fee for services as at when due, they will attend to enrollees. So we can promise you that there won't be anything like failure in service when it comes to Mediplan Healthcare International. Thank you very much. I wouldn't want to take our time.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, ma'am. So we'd like to ask you some questions. So the questions will be posted. The questions will be posted in the chat box now, so that you can do justice to them one after the other.
Okay.
So, ma, you can check the questions now.
Okay. The first question says, is that the question? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Does wider tests cover without paying extra money in the hospital? Yes. Yes, wider test is covered without having to pay extra at the hospital. On the scheme, wider test is covered. To what percentage is the bill covered for all services? Don't forget that in health insurance business, there are limits to some package. For everything that has to do with primary care, there is no limit. There is no limit to the number of times you can actually visit hospitals, but there are some cares that actually has limits. So, and the limits are very reasonable according to the plan the organization is going for. We office include blood tonic, antibiotics drug like ciprotab and anti-malaria drug. Yes, on health insurance scheme number 1, I would like us to know that blood tonics are generally not covered. The reason is because we encourage people to eat healthy so that people will not starve or go into bad nutrition and hope that they can actually cover it up with blood tonic. Blood tonic is generally not covered on the scheme. However, let me put it this way. However, there are some, not blood tonic now, what do we call them? These nutrient drugs. There are some drugs that can help with our nutrition that are covered on the scheme, but not blood tonic per se. I don't know if you're getting me. Also, ciprotab, of course, ciprotab is covered, is an antibiotic, is covered on the scheme, and all anti-malarial drugs are also covered on the scheme. Experience has shown that under the telemedicine arrangement previously, they were concerned about the prescription of lower quality of drugs. How does your HMO intend to address and effectively manage this? Telemedicine, on telemedicine, the drugs, the doctor at the other end will definitely give you a good drug. Sometimes in HMO business, I used to ask, what do people mean by low quality drugs? Because on the scheme, if a doctor from the other hand is prescribing a drug for you, it will definitely be an effective drug. We would not expect any doctor with a medical license to prescribe any drugs that is not effective. So definitely every drugs that you'll be getting, whether from telemedicine, whether you have to visit the hospitals, these drugs are effective. Good morning, madam. Please, will there be gym service? Yes, on the plan your organization is going for, that on the second plan, there is gym service. For the second plan, there is gym service. Then, do you partner with federal hospitals? Yes, we partner with federal hospitals, but presently we don't have all the federal hospitals in Ekiti State. We only have a very few of them. But however, under the NHIA, which is the federal scheme, we partner with all of them. But on the private, which is what your organization is coming for, we don't have all the federal hospital, but we've started working with them, and we can promise you that a week to the commencement, latest by a week to the commencement of your scheme, all these hospitals will be ready. My second question, how would the organization handle a situation where a patient has already been prescribed specific drugs or medication? Will such prescription be accepted and honored under your scheme? Now, we don't know the doctor that actually prescribed those medications to you, and we are not 100% certain the doctor that prescribed the medication. So what we will tell you is, whether a drug has been prescribed or not, please see a doctor on the scheme. So if you see a doctor, if the prescription that has been given to you is actually correct and accurate with your medical need, why not? We will dispense the drug. Good morning, madam. We have some tests that are very costly, like CT scan, MRI, which are just hospitals just few hospitals have this equipment. Only 1 to 2 hospitals that have the equipment in Ekiti. Ma, are you ready to partner with those hospitals? Afe Babalola, I guess, because these tests are highly costly, and does your plan cover this test? Yes, both the first and the second plan covers. The first plan covers CT, and the second plan covers both CT and MRI. So it is covered, and we are ready to partner with any facility that will be ready to do those tests for us. And another thing we do sometimes is this: if you have to run an investigation and there is no facility to run that investigation, or the facility that is going to run that investigation is not on the scheme, another thing you do is go to that facility with the go-ahead and approval from your HMO. Go to that facility, get your investigation done, bring your receipt, and that amount of money will be refunded to you because you are covered for it. Then another one is, please, can they add State Hospital FMC Adebayo to our HMO this time around? We already have partner with that hospital. We have partner with that Adebayo hospital already. Okay. Please, can they, sorry. Okay, number 10. Is scaling and polishing available on your network, and do you have it in Ekiti? Of course, scaling and polishing is covered under your dental care. So with your dental care, you can actually do scaling and polishing. Where prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital and subscribers buy out of pocket, is there a refund for this, and what is the process? I just mentioned there that not even drugs alone. So if you buy drugs that is being prescribed to you by the hospital, the one thing we tell you is that for the drugs, please make sure these drugs are on the prescription sheet of the hospital. Please make sure it is on the prescription sheet of the hospital, and there is a diagnosis also on that prescription sheet. So with that, you can actually get your drug and you come to us for a refund, and we will, of course, definitely refund you. And like I said, not only drugs, there could be medications, like you just mentioned, that MRI, CT scan. Now, fine, we are already building a partnership that we should conclude soon with the hospital that does MRI and CT scan. But however, in case those machines breaks down and you need to go and run those investigation elsewhere, as long as you get an approval from us that I was at my hospital, Adebayo Hospital today, I was given this, I was asked to do these investigations. However, there is no facility to do it, or the facility that has to do it is not on your scheme. As long as we give you a go ahead, you will definitely get a refund for it. How will your organization handle out of care network in emergency situation? Out of care, I want to believe this person means out of station. Now, let me put it this way. For emergencies, I mentioned it when I was talking. I said for emergencies, you are to be rushed to the nearest hospital to you. This is health. We don't know how fatal it could be. We don't know how dangerous it could be. But we will just advise that once it is accident and is an emergency, please move to the nearest hospital to you and notify us, once the person is conscious, if the person is unconscious, once the person is conscious, or 28 to 42 hours if the person is conscious. What of Afe Babalola? Is it Patma because it's the best hospital in Ekiti currently? Yes, we are presently working on Afe Babalola. I will say that we are 70 to 80% gone. And I can promise you that before your scheme kicks off, Afe Babalola will be on board. Please, ma, will there be prostate or testicular test, also ovarian cancer or breast cancer test? Yes, if your doctor requests for it. If your doctor requests for it, it is covered on the scheme. But on managed care, you may not be able to just walk into the facility or walk into the labs and say, I want to do this under my HMO. So it must be that your doctor recommended that you do the test. Does it cover fertility treatment? On the scheme, yes. On the second plan, fertility treatment is covered up to a limit. Does the organization have hospital we can across the? Yes, like I mentioned earlier, we have hospitals. Fine, we may not have 8%. Yes, most of the hospitals are centered in Ado-Ekiti. You are very right. The reason being that these hospitals, when there are no relationship, when there are no partners, let me put it that way, when there are no clients going to these hospitals, there are a lot of time the communication slows down. So, but because of the population in Ado-Ekiti, that is why it seems like most of these hospitals are majorly in Ado-Ekiti. However, we've started opening up hospitals in every part of Ekiti state, and it is very easy for us because we already have hospitals in every part of Ekiti state under the National Health Insurance Scheme. So what we are just doing now is introducing those hospitals to private scheme, which is what your organization is going for. How soon can enrollee be reimbursed in case of out-of-pocket expenses, especially in emergency cases? Now, these are two things. You mentioned two things here. Out-of-pocket expenses, especially in emergency cases. Now, in emergency cases, when you are being referred, like I mentioned earlier, when you go to a particular hospital because it is an emergency, we expect that you call us once you are being stabilized. So if you are being stabilized and you call us, we will now agree with you on whether to move you from that hospital to an accredited Mediplan HMO hospital, or you want to remain at that hospital. So if you want to remain at that hospital, that means you will have to give us the bills after all your expenses, because there is no relationship with that hospital. You will have to give us your bill after the expenses, and of course, within 74 hours, you will get your refund. Within 74 hours. Do you cover fertility cases? If yes, to what extent? If no, do you assist enrollee in fertility cases? Like I said earlier, your second plan covers fertility cases up to a limit. However, you said, do we assist? When I was having my presentation, I mentioned that one of the things that make Mediplan different from every other HMO is because we are flexible. And what I meant then by flexible means, if you need to do fertility care, and you are definitely going to spend beyond your limits, with a letter from your HR instructing us. The reason why we need your HR to instruct us is because an individual can leave the organization at any time, and we will not be able to trace that individual to refund us. But however, if the letter is coming from the HR, if the person, the HR will know how to make the person pay on time. So if you are going to run a fertility care, yes, and it is above your limits, if your HR should write us that on behalf of our IRS, we should take care of so for every fertility care, and state when and how the money is going to be paid, we will definitely assist. Are dental and optometry clinics included in your service? Yes, of course. You are covered for dental care and optometry clinic care. Can we know other medical treatments that requires additional cost from the patient? Yes, every care that is not covered, every care that is not, there are exceptions on the scheme. For every insurance, whether it is health insurance or general insurance, there are exceptions. In health insurance, there are exceptions. There are things that are not covered. I can only but mention very few here now. Let's assume the person wants to do a brain surgery. It is not covered on the scheme. Let's assume the person wants to do liver transfer, kidney transfer. All those surgeries are major surgeries. So those ones are not covered on the scheme. But however, like I said, if the organization says we should please take care of that on behalf of IRS and that they will pay us, we will definitely take care of that. How do you protect our info? And do you share them with these subsidiaries, or where do they come in? Oh, data protection is one of the major things any business owner must have. So in Mediplan Healthcare, we are very concerned about data protection. So your information, your data only remains on Mediplan database. Like I used to tell some of my clients when they call me and say that, madam, so information, I will tell them I don't have access to it. There is a limit to what each staff access to. So it is only a very few person, the IT department, that have access to your data. So it is very protected, very, very protected. Okay, my question is that, okay, sorry. I don't want to omit that 20. My question is that my wife is heavily pregnant. We already registered at Unique Hospital, attending antenatal. What dates, with dates given to us in the hospital, now is between April and May. Yes, I understand this person. It is just like your wife is pregnant and you had a relocation to another state. Definitely your wife will give back at that state. The same thing applicable here. Moving from one HMO to us is not a problem, because by the time, what your wife just needs to do is whenever she goes back to that hospital, it will just tell them, change my HMO name from so and so. So your wife's pregnancy is still covered on the scheme. Your wife's pregnancy is covered on the scheme, and it is a very easy process for the hospital. All they just have to do is transfer your wife's bill to us. So it is very easy. I want to ask that a patient have got an history beforehand and he knows his medication for his prescription. Can you just take the drugs from the medication store via the HMO? We cannot just take the medication from the store. The reason is this: You may know your medication. I will give an example. Let me set an example here. I have an enrollee that is on a particular antihypertensive. Over the time, he has been taking this antihypertensive. But there was a particular day he went to the hospital, and by the time he went through investigations, we realized that that antihypertensive has to be changed. However, whether it needs to be changed or not, before a drug is being given to anybody, the person must have seen a doctor. The person must have seen a physician that knows about that health, and the physician has to give a go-ahead before we can give the drug. So we cannot just give you your drugs because we already know your medication. We are also particular about you. We are concerned about your health. And because we are concerned about your health, we will not mind the amount we want to pay for your consultation to see a doctor. It doesn't mean that they will change your medication. It only means that there's going to be a continuous follow-up on you and on the drugs. So if you have a medication already, please still see your doctor and let the doctor still give you go ahead to continue to take that medication. As an enrollee, how many dependents can I add and what is the age limit? Yeah, for Mediplan Healthcare, our standard age limit is 21. Our standard age limit is 21 for your dependents. And the number of dependents you can add, I think that has to do with the HR. HR, please. I wouldn't want to give the information because I don't know how your family plan is going to be. So that question goes to the HR. Give us some of those measures you mentioned you have put in place to make things easier for us, and what's made you different from other HMO. Like I said, one of the things that make us, like I've mentioned it like twice now, one of the things that make us different, the number one is our app. We have a functional app whereby you don't need to, if you don't want to contact anybody, you don't want to hear anybody's voice, you just want to do everything online, with the app you can do it. You can change your hospital, you can speak with the call center, you can know your benefits, you can know your limits, you can know your utilization on the app. I also mentioned flexibility, that Mediplan is flexible. We are flexible in the sense that for if you want us to take over any care, we will definitely take over it, as long as you promise us that you are going to pay later. And I also mentioned that we do forums. We don't just register you on the scheme and leave you. Once you come on our scheme, we agree with the HR. Do you want us to come in every 4 months for forum, for enlightenment, or you want us to do it on Zoom? We do forums. And I also mentioned that we do health talks. Whether you have your health week, if you do have health week, we can actually come in, do the health talk. And even if they want us on behalf of the organization now to run a test, we can actually come in on behalf of the organization. We go ahead, we run some tests for the staff. So these are the unique things that most HMOs don't do, that we do, that make us different from them. As an enrollee, how many dependents can I have? I've answered that. Okay. Sorry. Then, please, ma, I want to ask if the HMO cover for diagnosis services. Please, I want to ask if the HMO covers. Okay, you want to know if we use diagnosis services apart from hospitals. I guess that's the question. Now, if that is the question, yes, we do, because hospitals don't have all the facilities. Apart from Afe Babalola in Ekiti, I don't think there's any other hospital that has 80% of the facilities. So because of this, we use diagnostic centers to run tests. Does Mediplan HMO cover fibroid surgery? Yes, on the scheme, fibroid surgery is covered up to our agreed limit. Do you have drug prescription refill after the initial prescription from your registered hospital? Do you have drug prescription refill after? Yes, we have drug prescription refill. nutrient supplements, all antibiotics drugs, and all anti-malaria drugs are covered on all plant type. Like I said earlier, for nutrient supplements and blood tonic are not covered generally by HMO. However, for nutrient supplements, when it comes to some particular ailments, it is covered. We try to waive that off and give it when it comes to some particular ailments. All antibiotics are covered as long as it is being prescribed by the doctor. All anti-malarials are also covered on the scheme. Does the organization have hospitals across the 16 local governments? Yes, we mentioned it that presently we have relationship with hospitals in the 16 local governments, but for some, the relationship are on NHIA basis. However, because we have the NHIA relationship with them, it is easy for us to move them to the private sector. So what we are presently working on, what we've been working on now is we have been communicating with this hospital, educating them, and we've been discussing on moving them to private sector, which some of them has given us feedback on. Especially as children, it's okay. Upon adoption, Mediplan HMO access to healthcare services and hospital to your enrollees in every close proximity to the allocation of choice. This is inclusive to all local government region in the Ekiti state. Yes, we have hospitals in all this region. Oh, okay. Somebody is answering that. Okay, I think I am done with that. Sorry, we are the one answering those questions.
I was about saying that you've done justice to all the questions.
Yes.
So there are no more questions. Can you kindly exit the conversation now?
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time and this opportunity. We look forward to a feedback from you soonest. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amen.
You've not exited, no?
Oh, sorry. Where is it? I thought I have. Leave.
All right. So the last HMO to speak this afternoon is Metro Health HMO, and their representative is here. MD, kindly. Okay, you're unmuted now. You can speak, sir.
I click here. Okay, all right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tai Falan. With me on this call is my MD, and then my colleague Deborah, and then Mr. Eteng. We formed the team that visited your office early last month when we came for the physical presentation. I bring greetings to you from the management, and I would like to say a very big thank you for this wonderful opportunity given to us. Can you hear me very well? Am I audible enough?
Audible. We can hear you loud and clear, sir.
All right. So quickly, because of the time, I know a whole lot of a lot has been said, and I would like to be very, very precise, and I want to make it as brief as possible so that it doesn't look as if I'm repeating a whole lot of things. Quickly, Metro Health HMO is a nationally accredited HMO. We've been in the industry for over 13 years. As a matter of fact, we spent a decade, and we are known for excellence. We have our sister company, which is St. Nicholas Hospital, which is known for quality care and excellence in Lagos. Like I said, we are a nationally accredited HMO, and we have our footprint cut across the 36 states of the Federation. How do I mean by that? We have regional offices in 6 regions. We have a Loring branch office. Our head office is in Lagos. We have Port Harcourt office. We have Enugu office. We have Abuja office. And we have Bauchi office. And we will not hesitate to equally have a presence in Ekiti State if the discussion further, because we take into cognizance that Ekiti State Internal Revenue Services is a big organization, and we want to make our presence known if given this opportunity to manage the staff healthcare needs, if we're given that opportunity. So for us, we can go the extra mile to have a presence, a physical presence in Ekiti State by establishing an office there that will manage the day-to-day interface with the enrollees and staff of Ekiti State Internal Revenue and any other clients that we have within Ekiti State, as the case may be. Our focus as an organization, we are a technology-driven organization, and our focus has been in the tripod of people, process, and technology. I'll quickly talk about this because this is what drives us. This is what makes us who we are. We've invested so much in technology. We've invested so much in human capital, having the right vibrant staff that we have in our mix in order to ensure that we can optimize healthcare, the healthcare need, the outcome of the healthcare needs for our enrollees. And for our processes are very, very seamless. Right from registration, you can do your registration at the comfort of your home. You can register and you get your policy number instantly. So these are the things that make us top-notch. The hospital interface, we have brought in all those processes that makes our engagement very, very seamless, and which guarantee satisfactory outcome to the enrollees. Then I talked about technology. As we advance, I will be talking more about our technology. We have our mobile app, we have our provider portal. The essence of this is to ensure seamlessness in and to make our customers or our enrollee have seamless access. Now, when it comes to the mobile app, you can do a whole lot of things with the mobile app. We have our two-way notification system on our database, on our portal, whereby when you go to the hospital and the hospital do an eligibility check from the portal, you get a notification, we get a notification to intimate us that we have somebody at the point of care that wants to receive care. And also you can effectively monitor your care and your waiting time, real time. When I mean real time, with our software, you can monitor your care real time. When the hospital sends a request on your behalf, whether the hospital has sent a request or not, you can see that from the dashboard real time to know that. So it eliminates that issue of, oh, we are waiting for your HMO, we are waiting for approval. You could know, you could see when an hospital has actually in real time sent a request on your behalf or not, or they are just telling you that, oh, sorry, you are waiting for your HMO approval and the rest. So we try as much as our system has come to help eliminate those gaps that enrollees usually experience on the scheme. And also in terms of our engagement with the provider portal, it is very seamless. Requests are done at a go. It's very fast. And also when it comes to claims adjudication and bill submission, is equally very, very fast because all these things are automated. Once the request has been sent on the portal and all those things, we get an approval is given, it's automatically registered at the back end. And when it comes to their bill submission, is very, very seamless. And processing of those bills too, in real time, within a second, the bills has been adjudicated and processed in real time, very, very fast. So As our technology is top notch, I can say categorically in the industry, we have one of the best technology. Now also on our software, we have a stamp time on our software whereby you can monitor in real time too, as at the time you presented at the hospital and as at the time request is being issued. So when, let's say for example, you visit your hospital and they ask for your policy number, which is the first thing they will do is for you to check for your policy number. Once that policy number check is done and that notification is sent, we have a stamp time that starts counting from that moment where you presented to say that, to actually let us know that you too, you can actually monitor it in real time. We call it the WTTX system, whereby we track in real time. We call it the waiting time tracker system. It tracks your waiting time as at the time you present at the hospital and as at the time care is given to you in real time. Now, what this does too, from our back end, we could actually monitor your care to say that your visitation, to say that, oh, we noticed that you presented at the hospital for in the past 10 minutes, because it has an amber light that indicates when your waiting time is becoming excessive. The amber light changes from yellow, from green to yellow, from yellow to red. So within 10 to 15 minutes, if the hospital has not responded or we have not seen any request, the amber light changes and we can immediately communicate or contact the hospital to say, look here, we have this person that presented at your hospital and we have not seen any requests. What's happening? Is there any challenging, or is it that there are people waiting? Now, what this also does for us is it also helps us to evaluate the hospital in terms of their waiting time, and in real time we can engage them to let them know the average waiting time that they use when enrollee comes in. So it helps us, and the turnaround time rather, the average turnaround time that the hospital use in attending to an enrollee. So in real time, it helps us when engaging this hospital to let them know that, look, the average turnaround time when it comes to enrollee engagement and treatment is so and so minute or so and so hour. Can we see how we can work on and to improve on this turnaround time? And these are the things that we do that actually stands us out, and which the provider on their own part too actually appreciates, because the openness in terms of the engagement, and in also to help them to fine-tune their processes to fall in line, that we guarantee customer satisfaction at the end of the day. So these are the things we do that actually stands us out in terms of client satisfaction. Like I said, we are customer centric. All our focuses is on the quality and the outcome of your care. And I believe that this is what we've been doing for our esteemed clients, and we have over 40,000 lives as we currently manage, which consists of both the private sector, the government lives, and the public sector life that we currently manage. So having you on board, we already have that experience, because we have the experience and the capacity and the capability to manage organization with staff strength of over 10,000. Like currently we have EKEDC that have over close to about 10,000 lives, which is, and they are scattered across the 36 states of the Federation, and we manage them seamlessly. With us, we have with our technology in place, access is very, very seamless in terms of outstation care. When you want to access care, when you are not at the point of your primary station or your primary place of registration, you do not need an authorization code. All you just need is walk into an accredited hospital with either your electronic ID card or your physical ID card, and you can access care. It does not require us to say, oh, you need an approval code first before you access care. Once an eligibility check is done for you and your policy is active, you have the express approval for care to access care. So these are the things we do that actually stands us out when it comes to service delivery in the industry. So quickly, I would like to talk about the health plans. Currently, we have the health plan packages that has been presented to us, which we have holistically looked at, is quite robust. We have 3 plans here that has been given to us, which are very, very robust. Covers both primary care, secondary care, specialist care, hospitalization, fertility care, name it, dental, optical, they are all covered, well covered on this plan that your organization has proposed for your usage, which is quite robust. Advanced imaging like MRI, CT scan are all covered across the 3 plans that have been presented to us. For the basic plan, it covers to the tune of 80,000. You have 80,000 limit. While for the other plans, you have the topmost plan, it covers without no limit. And for the other middle plan, it covers without no limit as medically indicated in emergency cases and the rest. For dental care, you are covered up to 50,000 for the first plan, and for the other plan, you are covered to specific limits too. For surgeries, irrespective of what surgery that the person wants to do, you have a limit of, for the basic plan, you have a limit of 500,000. For the middle plan, you have a limit of 750,000. While for the topmost plan, you have a limit of 3.5 million, which is quite expansive in terms of coverage. Then in terms of overall insured limit, the good thing with your plan is that the plan does not cover any overall insured limit. It means that you do not have an overall insured limit cap when it comes to the package that has been proposed to you. Irrespective of the fact that, yes, for some specific services you have a limit, but in terms of the overall insured limit, which is applicable within the HMO industry, whereby you have some specific cap for your organization, there is no overall insured limit. So it means that as long as and as much as that particular service is covered without any limitation, without any limit, you have extensive coverage, and which is a kudos to your organization, because I believe that this plan will do justice to whatever care that the staff will actually require, as the case may be. Now, for the hospital, like I said, we have hospital cut across the 36 states, and we will not be holding back to expand our hospital network in Ekiti. Like the other time we came to your office, we've actually requested for the list of the preferred hospitals that you currently have. For us, we currently work with both the tertiary institutions and the state hospital, which is the state specialist hospital. We have the FMC. Like for in Lagos, we have the general hospitals. We have Bagada General Hospital. We have FMC, and even in Abuja, we have the state-owned hospitals and the federal government hospitals. So in your area too, we'll equally expand that. Like I said the other time, that we'll need the list, because you mentioned if we actually work with general hospital and the state healthcare facility, and I told you yes, because we already have a track record in managing and in handling and in dealing with these people. So it's not going to be a big deal for us in terms of that. Then in terms of provider reimbursement, as a matter of fact, we do upfront payment, we do deposit system when it comes to provider. And when it comes to provider payment, we do deposit payment, upfront payment for some providers. And that alone has gone a long way to actually give that credibility when we're dealing with providers. across the 36 states of the Federation. We have good reputation when it comes to payment. We are very, very apt, and we are very, very prompt. Now, in terms of communication, we have various channels when it comes to communication interface between us and the enrollee, and between us and the providers. Our communication channels are very, very expansive. We have the WhatsApp group, which we have for each organization, with dedicated account officers and client service officer and account managers that interact on daily basis for any escalations that comes up. The other time when I was in your office, I was able to demonstrate and even showed you the group chats that we have for various organizations and the communication channels that goes in those group chats. And I think we're going to replicate that too, because it's part of our processes, part of what we do on daily basis in terms of communication. For our call center, we have well-experienced, medically inclined personnel, nurses and doctors that supervises the call center. At a go, we have over 16 agents that handles calls and emails requests per day. So when it comes to response time, our response times are very, very prompt, very, very apt. In short, as a matter of fact, in the industry, we have one of the best rated response time when it comes to provider response, as in provider engagement response when it comes to approval code requests and all those things. We have it in place. Now, also, we have even gone a step further, that we're even beginning to automate our approval processes, whereby technologically, when you present yourself at the hospital, the system automatically just adjudicates and give an approval code based on the request that has been sent. This has been programmed, and we've gotten to that phase in our technology approach, whereby the hospital does not even need to send that request to us. Once the request hits our portal, the portal automatically just adjudicates and send you your approval code for such requests. And the beauty of this is that, well, for every approval you receive, you get a notification, a detailed email notification, and an SMS notification to say that this and this and this care has been approved for you. So in real time, you can monitor all these processes. You can monitor your approvals. You can monitor. You can see in real time your approval, what has been approved for you. So there is nothing like, oh, your HMO declined this, or your HMO is saying this and that. You in real time, you could actually track all these things and seal these things in real time. So these are the things that actually stands us out when it comes to service delivery. Like I said, we are customer centric. Our focus has always been on the customers to ensure that our client get the best, and the feedback has always been top notch in terms of customer experience from our esteemed client that we currently have currently. So I don't know if there's any other question. Like I said, I want to make it as brief as possible. I wouldn't want to take much of our time, and so I would like to know if we have at this point, if you have questions that you want us to look at, to address, and we can look at it holistically. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your presentation. The questions are in the chat box. You can kindly go through them. They've been pasted in the chat box.
All right. The first question is
and one more thing, sir. Our time is fast spent.
Yes, so that's why I'm rushing. I'm seriously rushing. Okay, so you mentioned about the wider test. If somebody said, does wider test covered without paying additional fee? Yes, fully covered. We cover both wider. We cover stool MCS, which is even more definite when it comes to investigation of malaria treatment and typhoid. So we covered, it's fully covered without no extra cost. Number two, so what percentage is the bill covered for all services? Like I said, you have no limit on in terms of your general insured benefit. There are no limits. However, for some specific benefits, for some specific care and services, there are insured limits, like surgical procedures. Yes, surgical procedures, you have, for the list plan, you have 500,000, irrespective of what surgery you want to do for the list plan. For the middle plan, you have 750,000. So what it means is that for the services that you have insured limit, we will cover you up to that limit of what the policy that the company, your organization has presented to us for your coverage. So, but for the overall insured limit, no, we do not have that. The third, sorry, let me quickly. Okay. The third question is, ma'am, will your office provide blood tonic, antibiotics, drugs, and like Ciplotab and the rest? Yes. We covered Ciplotab, we covered anti-malaria drugs, Lonart, how do you have Quatem and the rest? We covered all this. These are covered on the plan. The fourth one, experience has shown that under the telemedicine arrangement previously, there were concerns about prescription of low quality drugs. How does your HMO intend to address this? Like for us, we have we make use of pharmacy benefit. Now for the telemedicine, our telemedicine is embedded into our mobile app, and we have the in-house telemedicine portal which you can make use of, and we equally have the one with our partner 24 Connect. Now for when drugs are prescribed under the telemedicine, we usually use the pharmacy network to dispense this drug. So the issue of low quality does not even arise from this, because you are picking your drug from the accredited pharmacy. So you don't have the issue of low quality drug. It doesn't come up at all regarding this, as long as it is what has been prescribed and in line with your presented diagnosis and treatment, you get your medications. Now the fifth one, say, good morning, madam, please. Will there be gym services on the plan? Yes, for the plans covers gym services, but not all the plans. So depending on what the category you find yourself, gym services are covered on the plan. Do you partner with federal hospitals? Yes, we do. We partner with federal hospitals. Like I said, currently we work with state specialist hospital. We work with general hospitals in different states, and we work with FMC too. Currently, my own spouse, my wife, is currently receiving care in FMC. So as the case may be, we partner with all these federal institutions. So for Ekiti, all we just need to do is identify the ones that you want to work with, that you want us to engage and work with, and we'll bring them on board. Like I said before now, we even do deposit system for some of these facilities. So it makes the whole system, accreditation system, very faster and seamless when it comes to that. Somebody said, my second question, madam, is how would your organization handle a situation where a patient has already been prescribed specific drug or medication? Would such prescription be accorded and honored under your scheme? Yes. Oh, now if a patient has been prescribed drugs, maybe from your previous hospital, all we just need is the patient going to the hospital and let the hospital send us that prescription and we honor it. It's as simple as that. Then from moving forward, if it is for drug refill and for chronics, effectively on monthly basis, we'll using our accredited pharmacy network, you get your drug without necessarily going to the hospital for those drugs, as the case may be. So it's covered. It's not we covered that. Now on the ninth question, please, how can they add state hospital or FMC. Like I said, we already have this. Okay, state Adebayo to our HMO. We can have that as soon as we get. In short, from these charts now, I'm going to pick this hospital now and give it to our provider management team that we all came together to Ekiti, and they'll start actioning on this as immediately now. So we partner with state specialist hospitals. Number 10, is scaling and polishing covered, available on your plan? Yes. Scaling and polishing is covered on the plan. We have dental facilities that are accredited for dental care, basically for dental care, and we have hospitals too that has been accredited for optical care. So for cases of dental care, you go to the accredited hospitals and you assess care. And scaling and polishing is part of it. It's part of your dental limit or your dental care. For the least plan, you have 50,000. For the middle plan, I think you have about 80,000 or so. So you'll be covered to the tune of your insured limit. So I know scaling and polishing is between 6,000 or so. So if you are doing only scaling and polishing, by the time you subtract it, you still have about 40-something thousand left, which you can still use for other dental care services as the case or as the need arises. So you are covered for it. The next one is where prescribed drugs are not available in the hospital and the subscriber buy out of pocket, is there any refund? Is there any refund for this? Yes, there are refunds. When you go to your hospital and a drug is prescribed for you, and the hospital is saying, "Oh, sorry, we do not have this prescribed drug," what we usually do is, if the hospital contacts us to let us know that, "Oh, these drugs are not available," we contact our pharmacy network, our accredited pharmacy, and you go and pick up your drugs at this accredited pharmacy. And in cases where you make a purchase from your pocket, all you need to do is present us with the prescription sheet that the hospital has given to you, that they use in prescribing that drug, and you'll be refunded. You'll be fully refunded of the amount that you spend in your purchase. So this is covered fully too on the scheme, on the plan. How would the next question is, how would your organization handle out of care network in emergency cases? Now, for out of station care or for emergency, we advise you go to any hospital. Like our system encourages roaming because we use a portal-based system. We use technology. We do not use, our system are not manually done. So you can walk into any hospital, if the hospital is accredited under us or not, and if the hospital is not even under us, all you need to do is, at that point, receive care, and you have the liberty of informing us within 48 hours to intimate us of those emergency situations. And in cases where you find yourself in areas where there are no hospital, all you just need, on the group chat, you can just, "Oh, I'm at this location. We don't have any hospital on this." We'll direct you. Or if there are any hospital, or we'll tell you, "Please go ahead and get your medical treatment." All you just need to do is provide your evidence of your care. The things you require for your refund is, if for example, you visit an hospital and in case of an emergency or in case of an outstation care, out of case, out of network cases, all you need to do is present your medical report, your receipt of payment, and the breakdown that the hospital has given you, the evidence of your payment, and we'll process that within 1 week. That will be processed. And once that process is done, you get your money, and approval will be given, and you even get a refund of notification to tell you that your refund has been processed. You will get a notification to that, and once that is done, your payment is done immediately. What of Afe Babalola, ma? Is it on the plan? Currently, like I said, we are engaging some other hospitals in Ekiti. Afe Babalola is one of it. Currently, we have about 11 hospitals thereabout actively on board. like I said, we are expanding this. Afe Babalola, okay, we have 16 hospitals actively on board in Ekiti as we speak, and we will expand this as the case as we move forward. Afe Babalola is one of the hospitals that we've even engaged before now, not because of Ekiti State internal revenue. Is an hospital that we've already engaged and discussion is ongoing. So it will be a plus now that you've even mentioned it. To be a plus to us too and to you. We'll expedite action on the formalization of the contract within some few days, as the case may be now. Does the plan cover fertility investigations of counseling investigation to a limit? All the 3 plans that your organization has presented to us covers infertility care or fertility care to a limit. So those limits will be applied. The topmost plan covers up to 200,000 for investigations like I think USS and PSA and the rest. The 18th question, are dental and optical services covered on the plan? Yes, they are covered. I think I've answered this before. Can we know other medical treatments that required additional costs from the patient? We might not be able to know this. Like I said, for services like surgeries, surgical services covers up to 500,000 for the lease plan. So let's say, for example, you go to Afe Babalola, and irrespective of the surgery they want to do for you, let's say the cost is 400,000. It means the HMO is covering it in totality without you paying any additional fee. Now, if that particular surgery is above 50,000, is above 500,000, it is the difference. That is what you will pay as an add-on, as an addition to what the HMO is covering. So it depends on what services you want to, they're really required at that point. We might not know the definite care that the person needs, but irrespective of that, the plans can guide us. And because this particular benefit, as approved by your organization, will be uploaded on the portal, on our portal. It will be uploaded on our portal. It will be uploaded on the mobile app. So each and everybody can have access to the extent of their coverage. They can view it, they can look at it, they can even view their utilization. They can look at their utilization, they can view their utilization, how much I've used, I've expended on the scheme, what have the total cost that I've used, the total cost my dependent have used. We are very transparent. So all this you will see at the back end on the mobile app on our portals as you sign up on board, as you come on board. The last question here is that somebody is asking, how do you protect our info and how do you share them with these subsidiaries, or where do they come in from? Now, we are very meticulous when it comes to information, because we are fully compliant when it comes to data protection and data management. Now, for every information that is given to us, as a matter of fact, we have what is called medical confidentiality. Your information cannot be divulged to any third party without your consent. Your medical information cannot be divulged to even your HRO, except Ekiti State Internal Revenue is requesting making a request in writing with your consent for us to provide those information. If that is not done, we cannot divulge your information. So we are strictly compliant when it comes to data protection and medical confidentiality. We do not divulge people's information, people's data, whatever data that you have entered on the portal. The portal exclusively is for you, your own login. You have your user login details. When you sign on board, when you fill your form on the portal, automatically when your registration is completed, you get a notification with your policy number and your default password. So exclusively to you alone, you are the only one that can have access to those information. Your HRO cannot have access to those information except you give them, except you divulge your password, maybe your personal password that you have created for yourself. Maybe you divulge it to them or you give to them. We cannot give them those passwords. We cannot divulge your information because we are strictly in compliance with the Data Protection Act. And also, when it comes to medical confidentiality, we are strictly binded by our SLA, our contract agreement that we sign. And medical confidentiality is part of key components in our SLA. So we do not divulge information, patient information, as the case may be. Another question I saw here is, I want to ask that a patient have got an history beforehand and he knows his medication for his prescription. Can you just take the drugs? All right, the patient already have a history. We do not have that history. So for us to record that patient, especially for chronic drugs, for drug refill and all those things, we will need the prescription. We'll need the prescription from the hospital. All the patient needs is visit the hospital, get us a one-time prescription. Once we get that one-time prescription, that will be recorded into our system. We have what is called the chronic benefits, whereby on monthly basis, you do not need to ask for a request. So we know the particular dosage that has been given and for the duration. So it is bookmarked on our portal. So on monthly basis, all we just do is we notify the pharmacy for your pickup. And if there are any alteration or any change in your prescription by your hospital, once we get those prescriptions from the hospital, we can make those changes on our back end. And also on monthly basis, again, you continue with your prescribed drug. So for the first instance, you might need to visit the hospital in order for the hospital to send us that request so that we know that it is coming from a certified doctor. You are not doing self management. The drugs are duly recommended by your physician, and that will be logged into our chronic benefit portal, which on monthly basis you will be getting a refill for. I think that answers that question. Another question here, as an enrollee, how many dependents can I add on the scheme? Now, our current dependent age is 21. Although the National Health Insurance Scheme stipulates that the minimum dependent age for children is 18. For us as an organization, we do 21. However, if there are special concession or special requests by the organization, then the management can holistically look at it, review this to say that, oh, okay, we can give an allowance to maybe 22 or 23 as the case may be. But like I said, this is subject to management approval. Currently, we do 21 years of age for dependent. For dependent, I mean children or dependent on the scheme, not principal staff and spouse, as the case may be. For principal staff, we do up to 60 years of age. And if there are any that is above 60, then there will be a special consideration for such enrollees, as the case may be. Give us some of those measures you have mentioned you have and you have put in place to make things easier and measures we have put in place to make things easier for enrollees. Like I said, we are technologically driven. Our processes are seamless. We have the online registration system that at the comfort of your home, within 2 minutes, you can register yourself and you get your policy number instantly. You can do the telemedicine from the comfort of your home for non-medical emergency, for care that are not medical that are not medical emergencies, you can consult with the doctor at the comfort of your home. You can generate your electronic ID card. You can interface with us. You have the call center through the mobile app. You can chat with the call center. We have what is called the Same Pulse on the mobile app, whereby you chat directly with the call center on duty. Then we have the two-way notification system, whereby when you are at the hospital, the system automatically notifies us and notify you that, oh, you are at this hospital and so care is about to be rendered for you, and all those things. And if you are not present at the hospital, kindly contact this number. Now, we've seen cases whereby some people will say, oh, sorry, I got notification, I was never at the hospital and all those things. So that helps us to bridge that gap, to say, in terms of provider fraud, or provider is trying to maybe use your details to actually send us bills and all those things. You can, in real time, you can track all your details. You can track your care. Because you are getting notification, you are getting information about your care. You get detailed email, you get SMS notification regarding your approvals, regarding when you are at the hospital. So you know in real time what is going around you, what is happening regarding your care. And we too at the back end, we can effectively monitor your care, and we know what is going on at the back end. So these are measures that we have put in place. We in terms of technology, we are one of the best in the industry, because we keep evolving, we keep advancing. I made mention that in the coming days, the hospital might not even be sending us requests for approval, because the system will auto generate some of those approval once it is in line with some specific parameters and medical outcome. They just give you the approval very, very fast and all those things. So there is no delay, there is no waiting time, because when it comes to the call center, we have more than enough manpower at a go that monitors, that receive requests, as the case may be. So these are things that we do. I don't know if there are any other questions that you want to, and if not,
there are no further questions. Metro Health, thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you so much.
And exit the meeting. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we want to appreciate everybody for attending today's HMO partnership meeting. We want to say your participation and engagement are highly appreciated. Therefore, we have come to the end. The next steps as regards decision making boils down to the management decision, and that will be communicated soon. So we have come to the end of the meeting, so we can exit the meeting. Thank you.